This guy pulls up to the hunter qualification exam and absolutely rattles the top S rankers across the globe. One casual punch, a level 50 monster, gets deleted instantly. The scene is so wild. The commander can't even sit still. He's scrambling to recruit this dude ready to sign a blank check on demands. But here's the plot twist nobody sees. Coming Bro was trapped in the abyss for 500 agonizing years. Every single day, his only fuel came from the nightmares he hunted. As the beasts got deadlier, his power spiked through endless combat. 50 years in, he's swatting low-tier mobs like flies. By year 300, even the high-level boss monsters in the abyss get folded, with a single tap. At the 400-year mark, his family's faces are just a blurry memory. Nothing left but infinite battles and scars on top of scars. By year 500, he officially becomes the apex predator of the abyss. Nothing down there dares to even look at him wrong. But despite being OP, he's still lost. He used to have this happy family life. Then suddenly a recurring glitch starts haunting his sleep. He dreams of a floating island, shrouded in fog filled with ruined Western architecture like a ghost town that never existed. Yet in the wreckage, I spot a silhouette. Someone's been waiting for me to show up. Come to me, kid. I'm at the edge of the abyss. Right when I hit this cliffhanger. In the dream, I snap awake. Kept this trauma on the low for ages, never told a soul. Figured it was just study burnout messing with my head. Dad smacks me from behind. Zone back in. You're daydreaming again. Get ready for school. Washed up, sitting down for breakfast with the squad. My goal, join the Defense Force post-grad. Figured once that happened, family time would be rare. But I never guessed a massive shadow was about to eclipse the whole planet today. Towers start spawning out of thin air. I'm clueless right now, but these towers, they're about to rewrite human history permanently. Day 1 of the apocalypse, Big Bro calls us. Says, "Don't worry, I'm safe, but the vibe is off." His voice over the phone sounds terrifyingly weak. That's the last time we ever hear from him. We knew he wasn't coming back. At first, the news feeds tell us to bunker down at home to stay safe. But then, over 20 towers pop up globally. Eventually, the broadcast signal just dies. Total blackout. No intel coming in from the outside world. Government finally sends the alert, pack your bags, evac to the safe zones immediately. Before we dip, Mom scribbles a desperate note for my brother. If you make it back, find us. Then the family escape run begins. On the road, I witness pure horror. Soldiers with 1,000-yard stares totally broken. Their armored tanks are ripped open by massive claw marks. We hit a temporary shelter. The vibe is eerily silent. Everyone looks like walking corpses, waiting for the end, zero hope in their eyes. Drama breaks out. Some grown man tries to snatch rations from a little kid. Your stomach is tiny, starving. For a few days won't kill you. Hand over the bread. The kid can't fight back and starts to give in. But Dad, who never stays in his lane when things go south, can't just watch this happen. Read the room. Why are you doing this? But the guy doesn't rate my dad at all. Mind your business, Pops. Dad's expression goes dark. Give it back. Hearing this, the guy laughs and throws a haymaker at Dad. Next second, Dad drops him with a clean kick. Dad hands the bread back to the kid. Totally ignoring the trash on the floor, Dad gives him an icy glare. The bread thief shuts up instantly, leaves muttering a threat. You'll pay for this. I recognize that face. Always wanted to take out trash like him. Suddenly, a military officer bursts in, orders everyone to clear the shelter and load onto the trucks as soon as possible. Someone asks, why? But the soldier's face says he doesn't have the clearance to explain. Just do exactly what you're told. While they're busy bickering, total chaos erupts outside. Suddenly, a soldier bursts through the rear door screaming, "Run, forget everything else, just go," seeing the panic. I shove my parents forward. We have to leave now. My gut is screaming that something is horribly wrong. Then, the shelter door explodes inward. White-furred beasts swarm the room. The people who were arguing seconds ago are now scrambling for their lives. We've never seen creatures like this, but you don't need a high IQ to know they're lethal. I freeze, mind racing. What the hell is happening? The crowd stampedes toward the evacuation trucks outside. Get in quick, I yell to my folks. I sprint off to check the other vehicles for space, pivoting to the left. But the truck is packed tight, no room for me. Desperate, I spot another vehicle nearby. It's only half full. I make a break for it and leap onto the bed. Just then, a massive hand reaches down to pull me up. Thanks, I gasp. But the guy's face twists into a sick, malicious grin. Ain't it a little early for gratitude? My stomach drops. I look up and realize it's that guy, the one my dad punched earlier. Of all people, he yanks his hand back and shoves me hard off the truck. Time slows down. It's over. My life, my dreams gone. As I hit the ground, the stampede of countless people crushes me underfoot. I don't want to die. Someone save me. Through the pain, I open my eyes and see a glowing, translucent foot standing right in front of me. I squint. It's him, the old man from my dreams. He repeats that cryptic line, "I will wait for you at the edge of the abyss." Blink, and the world shifts. The chaos, the crowd gone. Silence. Then smash, something sharp slams into the ground inches from my face. I look up a goblin. Pure terror kicks in. I scramble to my feet and turn to run, desperate to escape this nightmare. But then everything from the last few days floods back. The fear, the anger. It hits a breaking point. The mysterious Towers, that scumbag, who shoved me off the truck, the creepy old man, and now this ugly goblin. I'm done running. It's fight or die right here, right now. Without thinking, I grab a jagged rock off the ground, spin around, and charge straight at the beast. You want me, come and get me. Either you die or I do. It's a brutal, messy brawl, but finally, I take the creature down. I can't believe it. Video game monsters in real life, I notice a black number etched on its chest, probably its level. Suddenly, a dark crystal floats out of its corpse. I freeze, staring at it, totally clueless. But the crystal acts like it's alive. It locks onto me and shoots forward. Before I can even blink, it slams right into my chest and buries itself inside me. Panic fades as I realize. My wounds. They're knitting themselves back together. A surge of raw power floods my veins. So killing monsters and absorbing their crystals levels me up. Got it. I grab the goblin's weapon. There have to be more of them. I need cover fast. But when I scan the area, I'm shocked. It's empty. Just that one goblin. The only thing of interest is a path leading to a doorway ahead. I'm on a floating island in the sky. At the edge, there's a staircase leading down. Still no monsters in sight. I descend carefully. This feels way too familiar, like a dungeon crawler where a skeleton jumps out to knock you off the edge. Maybe I'd respawn at a checkpoint, but I'm not testing that theory today. Bottom of the stairs. I step into a chamber, and it's definitely not what I expected. The stone walls look ancient. Whoosh. A flame suddenly roars to life, illuminating the room. Behind the fire, there's another door. What is this place? Is that the exit? I notice a stone tablet covered in symbols. I've never seen this language before, yet somehow the meaning downloads directly into my brain. The fragile fragments and all their wielders possess shall grant the right of escape. I can't help but smirk. So that's the game. Collect the fragments, get out of here. Finally, a way home. I feel a fire lighting up inside me. Thinking back, that first goblin was barely a warm-up. With that boost of confidence, I shove the heavy stone door open. Immediately, a bone-chilling cold washes over me. Abyss floor. A zone covering 900 square meters. Enemy type. Level 1 monsters. Floor 2 doubles the size, 1,800 square meters, hosting level 2 beasts. And floor 3, 3,600 square meters of hell. 4 targets on the radar, but only one is rocking a number 3. The fragments? They only exist inside the numbered elites. These shards are my VIP pass to unlock the next floor. Higher number equals deadlier beast. Simple math. But as I plunge deeper into the abyss, a disturbing glitch pops up. These keys, they're becoming near impossible to track down, because with every single floor, the map size and the mob count strictly double. Inside this void, I level up with every kill. The trippy part, my physical age is totally frozen. Time has lost all meaning. 10 years, 100, doesn't matter. I can now obliterate high-tier bosses with a single tap. And as I keep descending, the monster roster just keeps expanding. Hit floor 15. We're talking over 1 million hostiles. But do I fold under the pressure? Not a chance. I just go beast mode. By the time I crash onto floor 30, the enemy count hits 500 million. Finding the exit key now is like hunting for a needle in a galaxy-sized haystack. The mobs guard these keys like their lives depend on it. Some of them, realizing I'm out of their league, burrow underground. Doesn't matter. I hunt. I purge. Finally, I storm floor 99. Fueled by pure, unshakable grit. The mob density here, it surged past 2 billion. I let out a manic laugh. Since the exit key is playing hard to get, today's agenda is simple: total extermination. Massive sky dragons get reduced to skeletons in a split second. I have no clue if time here flows the same as back on Earth. I've been trapped in this grind for 500 solid years. The walls are scarred with endless tally marks. I'm beyond exhausted. I can't even recall my family's faces anymore. But I have to break out. It's the only thing keeping me sane, even if my parents are long gone. Over these 5 centuries, I became god-tier powerful. Nothing in this abyss can touch me but destiny. It pulled a cruel prank. 0 exits. Just endless islands to conquer. But here's the twist I don't see coming. While I've been rotting in the abyss, the real world went through a massive reboot. Over 20 mysterious towers spawned across the globe. Before humanity could figure out the meta, the unthinkable went down. Countless monsters poured out and started slaughtering humans, left and right. History dubbed it Judgment Day. But then some survivors awakened, unlocking a mysterious system interface. As time ticked on, more of these awakened scored overwhelming power. Humanity started to patch itself up, and the awakened formed the Hunters Guild. Meanwhile, back in the abyss, I'm hot on the heels of a demon wolf. I scream at it to quit running. Let me see if you're holding a number. Suddenly, a chain latches onto the beast and I hear human speech. She triggered an advanced teleport scroll. Shut it down. Hurry, don't let the summon complete. The next second, the demon wolf levitates, wrapped in massive warp energy. I'm shook. Could that swirling portal above be my ticket out? Seeing my chance, I launch myself off the ground like a rocket. After waiting an eternity, there's no way I'm letting this slide. With a sharp breath, I leap, trailing the demon wolf straight into the teleport stream. But then the abyss throws up a red flag. Warning, the abyss cannot summon two life forms simultaneously. I swear under my breath. Ain't nobody blocking my path. I clamp down hard on the wolf ahead of me. I can't let it warp out before I do. Meanwhile, in the real world, a woman is cornered by a squad of hunters thirsty for the level 60 scroll in her hands. One hunter flashes a wicked grin. Hand it over now or things get messy. The woman screams in terror. Players can't attack each other. You're breaking the rules. The level 38 barbarian just chuckles. Rules are made to be broken, sweetheart. He raises his blade, terrifying her to tears. The barbarian sneers, just drop the scroll and I might let you walk out of here with your limbs attached. Seeing no choice, she clutches the scroll tight. You want to play dirty? Fine. The hunter's faces drop instantly. She's forcing the summon. Shut her down fast. The barbarian goes full send, powering up to absolutely flatline this girl and swipe the scroll. Instantly, a terrifying aura explodes from his body, with raw electricity crackling all around him. Seconds before his weapon caves her skull in, she hits a desperate dodge and forces the summon. The hunters panic. If she actually pulls this off, that high-level monster will wipe the floor with them. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. A massive swirling vortex tears open the sky above. A bolt of lightning crashes down from the vortex, slamming right into her summoning scroll. Every hunter on the field gets blown back by the shockwave. Cold sweat drips down the brute's face. The energy is suffocating. We're screwed. We need to bail. Moments later, something starts crawling out slowly. Through the blinding lightning, they stare intensely at the summon. But when the smoke clears and they see what actually arrived, they freeze. It's just a level 3 hell wolf. Seeing this one, Hunter even tosses a bone at it. The whole squad almost bursts out laughing at the joke. Even the girl is totally lost. She defended that scroll with her life just for this trash tier mob. Fate really played her dirty. But then bam, a hand suddenly punches straight through the demon wolf's chest. With barely any effort, I rip the beast's body cleanly in half. The hunters lose their minds. A humanoid monster. That's unheard of. The summoner just stands there, completely shook. She definitely didn't see this coming. I finally speak up, voice low. I'm finally out. 500 years in that hellhole. Just thinking about it makes me sick. Suddenly, I scream at the sky in pure ecstasy. I escaped. I'm finally free. The raw pressure exploding from my body has these hunters shaking in their boots. Just the sound of my laughter freezes them to the bone. This energy, it's way scarier than any local S-rank hunter. One of the girls stares me down. What even are you? Why did you come out of the teleportation gate? Hearing her ask that, I cut my laugh short. One step and I glitch right in front of her face. I'm moving so fast I leave after images. This girl has zero clue what's running through my head. For 500 long years, I haven't seen a single human face. So seeing them now, it actually feels kind of nice. I wrap my arm around her shoulder like we're besties and ask, "Is this Earth?" She stammers. "This is Earth." Hearing that confirmation, I bust out laughing again. I'm finally back. I glance over at the two guys nearby. Their outfits are bizarre. You guys doing some kind of cosplay or what? Their faces instantly sour. A split second later, two of them rush me from behind trying to pull a sneak attack. But here's the thing. I don't dodge. I don't run. I just stand there and let them land their hits. Crack. Their weapons shatter the second they touch me. My eyes flash with killing intent. "What do you think you're doing, you morons?" The brute locks eyes with me and goes pale. What? What kind of monster are you? I'm already in his face before he can blink. You dare call me a monster? You got a death wish. Suddenly my vision blurs. I start hallucinating the barbarian as one of those abyss monsters. I snatch him by the throat and pin him down hard. I don't show mercy to abyss trash. I growl. "Let me see your number. I need that core from your chest." Hearing this, the brute looks totally lost. "What number? We don't know what you're talking about." His desperate scream snaps me back to reality. Damn, I almost wasted the wrong guy. I slowly loosen my grip. He slumps to the ground instantly. Dude literally peed himself. My aura was just that heavy. He's probably realizing that even the country's top S-rank hunter wouldn't stand a chance against me. Knowing they're outmatched, they want to run. But the brute's legs have turned to jelly. He can't even stand up. I give them an out. "You four, get lost. Now." I'm not in the mood for murder, but if you stay, I'll start dropping bodies. The squad scrambles away in pure panic terror in their eyes. Once they're gone, I turn my attention to the summoner girl. She spots the scars covering my back. She's totally stunned. Insane power, but a body wrecked by scars. What the hell did this guy go through? But regardless of where this guy came from, she knows one thing for sure. He is absolutely not some monster dragged out of the abyss. It's impossible. Not with that scroll. Besides, a human being summoned from the abyss, that's unheard of. While her brain is buffering, I turn to face her. Hey, tell me something. How long have these towers been standing? She freezes, looking at me like I grew a second head. The towers. They've been here for 5 years. That's literally History 101. How do you not know that? I squint at her skeptical. 5 years, try 500. That's how long I rotted in that hellhole. If this really is Earth, what's the deal with the magic scroll? And why is she dressed like an RPG character? The math isn't mathing. Terrified I might snap, she starts spilling the tea. When the towers rose, the system came online. Humanity didn't stand a chance. Within days, a third of our cities were wiped off the map. She pulls up the holographic footage to prove it. City 5 took 7 massive waves of invasions. I barely made it out alive. I stare at the screen stunned. That's S City. My hometown. Panic hits me like a truck. I grip her arm maybe a little too tight. What is the status of S City right now? She winces. S City is a wasteland. Most sectors are total rubble, but they sent high rankers in for support. The monsters should be cleared out soon. Hearing that my home is on the brink of total collapse, I need to move. Now, point me to the fastest route to S City. She raises a shaking hand pointing north. The second, her finger extends. Boom. I launch myself like a phantom missile, moving so fast I vanish before her eyes can even focus. She's left standing there, completely shook. That guy was definitely not a summon. Summons don't have free will. She needs to tell her sister about this, as soon as possible. A living, breathing human just walked out of a summoning gate. This is actually insane. Meanwhile, the barbarian is such a mess he wet himself. His buddies basically have to carry him, but they don't get far. A pitch-black aura erupts in front of them, cutting off their escape route like a wall. Who's there? One of them stammers. The figure turns around slowly, and their blood runs cold. Just their luck, they stumbled right into a nest of monsters today. It's another expert killer. The vibes coming off this guy are suffocating. The dark energy rolling off his cloak. It's making them shake uncontrollably. The power gap here isn't just big, it's infinite. Fight back, not a chance. That terrifying aura has their hearts hammering against their ribs. I'm feeling generous today, the figure drawls. So I'll give you 3 seconds. Tell me where Cuerda is. 3 seconds. That's it. The barbarian is raging internally. Why is everyone they meet today a god-tier freak? One monster after another. Even he's out of ideas. Who could have predicted? Splat. In a split second, the entire squad explodes into a fine mist of red blood. The hooded figure barely flicked his wrist, and just like that, 4 hunters are deleted. Time's up, Yonelli. You wasted your chance. Don't blame me. System notifications pop up in the air. The deceased were elites from the Tiger Roar Guild. Cut to the Tiger Roar Guild HQ. High-end office. A woman reports, voice trembling. Sir, several of our master-tier elites just flatlined. And that girl's scroll, it's gone off the grid. Hearing the report, the man at the desk doesn't say a word. He just crushes his wine glass to dust with his bare fingers. He looks calm on the surface, but the woman knows better. He is seething. Those experts you vetted couldn't even handle a level 19 summoner. And now their signals vanish instantly. Is this how you do your job? But here's the scary part. The signals disappeared simultaneously. That means all 4 were one-shotted. Who on earth has the power to do that? This man is Likate, a level 118 Storm Priest. He barks an order. Investigate this. Find out who interfered with my operation. If they're weak, erase them. He strides to the window looking down at his city. Anyone who touches his people dies. But then, he sees something impossible. A man with long white hair, flying through the sky. No way. The S-rank hunter's expression turns deadly. The stench of blood is overwhelming even from here. Who the hell is that? He needs answers immediately. The defense agency is freaking out. They can't track me, and they are definitely confused about where I'm headed. That sector isn't just a dead zone. It's a graveyard. Why would anyone fly there? It's not just suicide. It's madness. But they don't get it. This isn't a random invasion. Something massive is pulling the strings from the shadows. The tower, which has been dormant for 5 long years, has finally opened its eyes. While the officials scramble to deploy the S-class hunters, I'm already blurring across the sky. 10 minutes later, I hit City S. What I see makes my blood run cold. I touch down on a rooftop, scanning the nightmare below. It's worse than I imagined. The sky is swarming with flying beasts, and the city has been reduced to absolute rubble. This place is gone. I spent 500 years fighting in the abyss, but out here, only 5 years have passed. That time gap gives me hope, but looking at this destruction, it terrifies me. The city is a literal hellscape. Are mom and dad still breathing, after all those eons in the dark? The only thing keeping me sane was the thought of seeing them again. I thought getting back would be quick. I never expected it to take 5 centuries. I went in weak, but I came out as the apex predator of the abyss. Down there, the monsters didn't hunt me anymore. I hunted them. But after 200 years of slaughter, I almost lost my mind. I had convinced myself there was no way my family survived that long. Day after day, choking down raw monster entrails just to stay alive. I was sickeningly tired of it. But I made a vow, dead or alive, I was making it back to Earth. That promise fueled me. Suddenly, a mindless bat monster screeches and dives at me. I brace myself, but I don't even have to lift a finger. The thing explodes in midair, crushed by the sheer weight of my aura. It couldn't handle my presence. But back to the math. 5 centuries for me, 5 years for them. My family has a fighting chance. Please just hang on a little longer until I get there. I reach my old block. The laughter and life that used to fill these streets, gone. Buildings are shattered like cheap glass, but strangely, there are no bodies. The herd must have moved to populated areas. Standing before my front door, my heart is hammering against my ribs. After all this time, my hands are shaking too much to just turn the knob calmly. Crack. I accidentally ripped the door off its hinges. Guess it was already weakened. I step into the shadows of my past. A beam of sunlight cuts through the dust, hitting me as I walk in. My shadow looks incredibly lonely on the floor. I scan the room. Silence. I knew they wouldn't be here, but I had to see the place where I was actually happy. Then I spot something on the table. A note. I pick it up, treating it like fragile glass. It reads, "My dearest son, the world says you're gone, but we know you're still out there, dear. We kept your room exactly how you left it. We never stopped believing you'd come home. Come find us. We bought new clothes for you every year from small to extra large, just in case." I break down. They risked death coming back here just to leave this message. Following Mom's instructions, I pull open the closet door. It's full. Brand new outfits. And tucked away, there's a map marked to shelter number 6. There's a family photo, too. I don't know where Mom got that blind faith, but she was right. I clutch the photo album, letting the tears flow freely for the first time in centuries. 500 years. The abyss stole their faces from my memory long ago, but seeing this picture brings it all rushing back. I spot a dagger nearby. I catch my reflection in the blade. The eyes staring back are different now. Dangerous. With the power I have now, I can crush every beast on this planet and end this nightmare. I use the blade to hack off my matted hair and throw on the fresh clothes. In minutes, the savage is gone. I can fix this. 5 years is nothing. I can make up for lost time. The hair on the floor represents the hell I escaped. It's time to start living again. The wild man is gone. Now a sharp-looking young man stands there, bearing a single scar and a hell of a lot of power. Checked my reflection, looking sharp. Target locked, shelter number 6. That's exactly where my parents were headed. Map says go east, so I'm making a beeline straight for that bunker. But the whole route is a total wasteland. Following the old roads, impossible. But honestly, this wreckage ain't nothing to me. I survived the abyss. I've navigated hellscapes way gnarlier than this. This is just some rubble. So if the road is closed, I'll just blaze my own trail. Next second, I launch myself skyward, blasting off like a human rocket. The shortcut I'm carving out is actually going to get me to shelter number 6 in record time. Suddenly, a massive bird beast clocks me. It dives razor-sharp talons aiming straight for my throat. Big mistake. I don't even sweat it, just grip, rip, and tear that thing cleanly in two. Low-level trash trying to block my path. That's a death wish. I keep it moving, parkouring over the crumbling skyline. Concrete shatters every time I touch down. I'm maxing out my speed stats right now. Meanwhile, 2 dudes are chilling with some drinks nearby. They hear a massive boom. His buddy thinks he's tripping, maybe had one too many. Guard duty out here is a total snooze fest anyway. What could possibly go down here? Then bam, jaws drop. A lightning bolt streaks right over their domes. It's moving so fast they can't even tell what it is, let alone see it's a guy. Guy on the left points up, freaking out. "Yo, did you catch that?" But his friend is clueless. Only felt a gust of wind slap his face. Luckily, the third guy was vlogging or something, and he caught the whole thing on cam. Their tech is actually pretty next level. We're talking 300 times slow-mo capability. They scrub back the footage and spot me a human torpedo tearing through the sky. While I'm speed-running toward shelter number 6, I pick up a scream from below. Down on the ground, a squad of hunters has a woman cornered. "Please let me go. I was just scavenging for food." She never expected survivors in this wasteland. These guys haven't seen a woman in ages. The leader is practically drooling. "Relax, babe. We're the good guys." Yeah, right, with a creepy look like that. Even an idiot could vibe check this guy and know he's up to no good. He claims he won't hurt her, says he wants to take care of her. She's frozen solid with terror, praying these creeps back off. Instead, the hunter shoves her to the ground. "Don't be scared, we're harmless," he lies, flashing the nastiest grin imaginable. "We'll be real gentle." Suddenly, crack. A noise erupts from behind them. It's the sound of the ground shattering. Some things never change. Trash is always trash. My eyes are burning with pure killing intent. I stare down the trio. The leader jumps, totally spooked. "Who's playing games? Who's there? Show yourself, interfere, and you're dead meat." Before he finishes, his 2 lackeys rush me. One guy is dual-wielding blades. The other looks like some wannabe knight, rocking a shield and sword combo. Don't get cocky, white-haired brat. Next second, they're both charging me full throttle. I don't even flinch. I stand up, flick my wrist, and backhand one of them straight across the face. Thud. Dude hits the dirt instantly. One slap, lights out. Didn't even stand a chance. I scoff internally. I could drop scrubs like you in my sleep. Right then, the other hunter thrusts his blade, but I dodge it like it's in slow motion. Way too slow. While he's stumbling forward from the momentum, I snatch his arm. Pure terror washes over him as agony shoots through his limb. I press down, forcing him to his knees, and introduce his face to my left knee. Crunch. Now the leader is pissed. Who the hell are you? I'm with the Tiger Roar Guild. You touch me and the guild will hunt you down. Hilarious. He doesn't know I just scrapped 4 of his Tiger Roar buddies. I say his name nice and slow. Shuin gone. Forget me already. It's only been 5 years. I brush my bangs back so he gets a good look. You personally destroyed my life. Forgot the face you tried to delete. Dude is straight up shook, asking how I'm even here. No shot. It is Choi Yugdo right. He's terrified now, scrambling backward like a cockroach, trying to bail, whispering, impossible on loop. But for every step he retreats, I take one forward. I want him paralyzed with fear. Yugdo screams, losing his mind. Stay back, why are you alive? I just chuckle. You saying I'm not allowed to exist. I slowly reach out. Then I snatch him by the neck, lift him up like a rag doll. Way too easy. You didn't forget 5 years ago, did you? You shoved me into traffic. Thanks to you, I spent centuries in the abyss. You have any clue what those centuries felt like? Pure terror floods his eyes. One little squeeze and he's dead instantly. My knuckles crack. I was down there way too long. Literal hell on earth. Now it's his turn to take a tour. This scumbag deserves everything coming. Used to shake me down for cash constantly back in school, and he almost killed me last time. So I'm gonna dismantle his dignity piece by piece. With my current stats, I'm basically a god. A demonic aura flaring behind me, whispering to just end him. The thought definitely crosses my mind. But death, that's an easy exit. Nope. School was pure torture because of him. That humiliation, I carried that through every second of the abyss. So today I'm paying it back with interest. No escape routes for this guy. Every time he crushed my pride and made me swallow it. Next second I release the choke and slam him into the dirt. Not killing him yet. I've got a better plan. Yugdo's gasping, desperate for oxygen. He saw the light for a second there. I rub my eyes. After eons in the dark, I feel like I'm merging with those monsters. Can't let that take over though. But this trash didn't just bully me. He tried to assault that woman moments ago. Who knows how many victims he's stacked up. Decision made. I'm leaving him permanent brain damage. He'll be a vegetable, breathing through his mouth and nothing else. Because wherever he goes, people get hurt. Yugdo, you tried to kill me once and missed. I won't kill you, but you aren't walking away from this either. He looks confused, not getting the vibe. 2 years of daily torture in school, hell on earth. I remember one specific time, he beat a kid over a piece of bread. I tell him we're settling the tab. You just gotta take 4 hits. Then I let you walk. He latches onto that hope, begging. If you kill me, the Hunter Guild will hunt you down. I grab his neck again. I tell him to worry about himself. The guild can't touch me. He stares completely stunned. I throw the first punch. Not full power, but the impact. Still way more than he can tank. His body slams into the concrete. Chest caves right into the rubble. Then comes the second hit. His 2 lackeys are frozen in shock. Thud. Blood sprays everywhere. Third hit lands brutally. These punches. That's for the high school bullying. He can barely stand, but I order him up. I'm not done. Survive one last hit and you're free. I'm a ghost to you. Yugdo begs me to just end it. After 3 hits, his body is wrecked. Living is pointless anyway. But I didn't tell him to stand up so I could hear him whine. I stomped directly on his head. Remember, this is the price for what you did. Boom. My foot grinds his skull into the pavement. I keep my word. As long as he survives the combo, I'm gone. After that final blow, Yugdo's eyes are gone. Agony firing through every cell. Limbs useless, total blindness. Without a healer, he's toast. But I'm not letting him die. That's too easy. I tell his minions to rush him to the ER. If Yugdo dies, I'll make sure you two share his fate. Hope Yugdo learns to never cross my path again. Catch me around him again, I'm throwing hands. Period. With that final threat, I kick off the ground and vanish. Priority 1, Shelter 6. I gotta blaze a trail right now or mom and dad are totally toast. Whoosh. A sonic boom rips through the air. I'm moving so fast I'm basically invisible, just a blur. Meanwhile, over in the S-City buffer zone, 3 grunts are killing time. Honestly, they'd kill to be back on wall duty. Anything is better than hunting monsters out here in the sticks. Officer on deck. A stiff-looking soldier walks up. Quit acting soft. You see a beast, try not to wet yourselves. And stay frosty. These things don't make appointments, they just show up whenever they want. That's First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun, dropping knowledge. But his rookie just laughs it off, reassuring him, relax, sir. This is the kiddie pool. Zone X monsters never come this far out. We just gotta keep our eyes pay. Famous last words. Before the sentence even finishes, splat, a massive tentacle coils around him like a wet noodle. Before anyone can even blink, they realize their buddy is gone. Wasted. Enter the nightmare, a kraken spawn. Level 45. Armored to the teeth. The lieutenant screams, "Hold the line, do not crack." Break formation, and we're dead. They unload their clips, but the lead just bounces off that shell. 0 damage. The beast glares down at the squad, eyes burning with pure rage. It's looking for a snack. The soldiers start shaking. This thing is way out of their league. Their guns are pea shooters against this tank. Staying here is suicide. Boom, the beast launches into the sky. It goes airborne. That massive shadow swallows them whole, crushing their morale instantly. Lee screams, "Scatter, spread out, do not give it a cluster target." But he doesn't realize the fear paralysis has already hit. Their knees turn to jelly. Gravity brings the monster down, aiming straight for the boys. One swipe of that claw, game over, insta-kill. But amidst the slaughter, one guy finds his spine. He steps up, screaming, "Get back!" He's strapped with a massive explosive pack. "Hey, ugly, I'm taking you with me." He torpedoes himself straight at the squid face. The squad lights up the sky with cover fire behind him. The bullet storm actually works. It slows the monster's reflexes just enough. The bomber closes the gap. He is right in its face now. He's aiming for a crit one-shot to the weak point. But then a plot twist. The kraken freezes. It stops attacking on its own. It looks terrified. The soldier doesn't get squashed. He's alive but totally confused. Why did the murder machine hit the brakes? Crack. Snap. Weird noises erupt from inside the beast. Everyone pauses. This was supposed to be a bloodbath. Instead, the thing is paralyzed. The squad is completely shook. What the heck is going on? Even the captain looks like he's seeing a ghost. He is clueless. But the terror in that kraken's eyes, it is real. This is getting weird. They don't know what scared it, but our suicide bomber isn't waiting around to ask. It is do or die. He preps the payload. Target lock the eyes. Just a flick of the wrist. Yeet. The package connects. Boom. A massive fireball erupts. Flames swallow the beast whole. But when the smoke clears, shockwave. Not a scratch on it. Why? Simple physics. Those tentacles snapped shut over its eyes like blast shields. No eye damage, no kill. The kraken marches forward, looming over the soldier. Veins popping out of its eyeballs. The bomber is paralyzed with shock. All that firepower and nothing. How is that even physically possible? The rest of the squad bailed. Now those tentacles are laser-focused on the one guy left. And then whoosh, I arrive. I smash my foot straight through its eye socket. Squish, the invincible beast. Instant corpse. Drops dead, on the spot. The soldier's jaw hits the floor. The lieutenant can't process what he is seeing. Wait, were those cracking sounds coming from me? It could have been way uglier since I was dreading his arrival. I pull myself up, slow and steady, my gaze dripping with pure murderous intent. Didn't expect to run into the military out here. But hey, perfect timing to ask them exactly how far. Shelter number 6 is. Meanwhile, the lieutenant is still standing there, totally shook. He can't wrap his head around it. I literally one-shotted a beast that tanked a massive explosion. His eyes snap into focus. He's never seen a player like me. He's clocking this as S-rank destructive power minimum. Maybe even God tier beyond S-rank. The lieutenant decides he needs to ID me, whatever the cost. But suddenly, he gets a system alert. Error. Special skill, vision, unavailable. The level gap is just too massive. The lieutenant is absolutely floored. He's never dealt with a glitch like this. I've only been in this world for a few hours, picking up the basics, but my own system interface is still locked. Meanwhile, the lieutenant is totally gassed. That scan skill didn't just drain energy. It likely cost him years of his actual lifespan. I shoot him a cold, indifferent look. For a split second, I felt eyes on me. Then I casually stroll over to one of the soldiers. I need intel. Specifically, how far is shelter? Number 6. The soldier helps me out. It's 10 kilometers due north. But you gotta cut through Zone X to get there. That piques my curiosity. What is this kid yapping about? What's Zone X? Turns out that's where they corral the beast tides. They funnel the monsters there to minimize collateral damage. Tons of hunters are stationed there, grinding away. While he's explaining, I catch the chatter from other troops nearby. Yo, the loot drops today are all rares. Back in the Abyss, mobs dropped black crystals, but I didn't expect real-world beasts to drop actual loot. It's literally like a video game. I just got out of the Abyss, so my power scaling is a total mystery. I turn to the soldier. How strong was that beast you guys were fighting? Hearing that, the guy starts sweating bullets. A level 45 beast is a nightmare. Way above my pay grade. Even a full squad would struggle to take it down. Interesting. So a low-tier mob from the Abyss is basically a raid boss for them. I press him again. How many beasts leveled higher? Then 45 are in the nest. His expression goes dark. Probably less than 100 in that specific spot. If those things were swarming everywhere, humanity would have been extinct ages ago. Got my answers. I turn to leave. The soldier is left speechless, wondering just how overpowered Someone has to be to walk with that much swagger. Just as I step away, he scrambles after me. Wait, hold on. I pause, glancing back over my shoulder. Speak. If it's not too much trouble, I might just grant his wish. He bows deep, full of respect. Please. I hope you can go to Zone X. I know it's a death trap, but with a hunter as strong as you could save so many lives. If I recall, he did say the quickest way to the shelter was through Zone X anyway. I accept without skipping a beat. I'll help you wipe the map in Zone X. It wasn't in my original game plan, but since I'm passing through to shelter number 6, might as well exterminate the pests. Not just in Zone X, but every single beast that crosses my path gets deleted. 10 minutes later, back at the rear base, the lieutenant who suffered that nasty backlash starts coming to. Seeing him stir his squad, freaks out with relief. Lieutenant, you're finally awake. The first thing on his mind is checking the clock. How long? About 10 minutes, sir. But thanks to the recovery item that Beast dropped, you healed up fast. If we didn't have that, you would have been in a coma. The lieutenant ignores the concern. Screw his health. He needs to know where his savior went. The soldier gives it to him straight, telling him I was headed north. The lieutenant clutches his pounding head, wincing, and mutters, north. Then it clicks. Something's wrong. Wait, what did you just say? Run that back. The soldier suddenly realizes the glitch in the Matrix too. That mystery hunter. He's heading to shelter number 6. The lieutenant's voice drops, dead serious. He said he was cutting through Zone X. The soldier nods, but the look on his face. Total disregard for the beasts in Zone X. He didn't just leave. He walked out like he owned the place. Hearing that, the officer whips his head around, absolutely livid. You can practically see the steam coming out of his ears. He finally finds an S-tier hunter, and now the guy's gonna get nuked the second he calls Central Command. The soldier freezes, eyes wide. Central Command, Lieutenant, are you serious? That's way above our pay grade. The lieutenant's heart is hammering against his ribs. 10 minutes. That's all the time they have left. Just enough to maybe make a difference. He keeps checking his watch every second, feeling like an hour. Suddenly, another soldier bursts in. Emergency signal sent, sir. Waiting on a ping. Back any second now. But the soldier pauses, confused. Why go straight to Central? What aren't you telling us? The lieutenant takes a deep breath. This isn't a standard run. It's high-level classified intel. That's why you guys were kept in the dark. Zone X isn't just a beast containment area. It's ground zero for this entire operation. It's a designated kill box, a bombing zone. Meanwhile, over at Central Command, a female op shouts out, emergency traffic from Zone Beta 7. The massive guy lounging in the center chair mumbles just one word, connect. Enter Central Commander Wan Taejong, level 58 fire mage, a heavy hitter. The op patches it through instantly. Central is now live with an urgent battle report, straight from First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. Fingers fly across the keyboard as the link is established. Static clears. Comms code W342. This is First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. I have a code red situation here. The lieutenant quickly spills the tea on his encounter with the mysterious hunter. Target entered the bombing zone moments ago. Unknown hunter. He has zero clue about the operation. Wan Taejong's eyes go ice cold. So, you called to report your own screw-up, because if that's it, heads are gonna roll. Hearing that tone, the lieutenant instinctively bows his head. Rank means nothing against a guy like Wan, but the lieutenant knows he has to push. Requesting emergency broadcast to warn the target about the incoming bombardment. The lieutenant is risking it all, because he knows this hunter is a beast. He can't just let a powerhouse get wiped out for nothing. The plea echoes through the room, and suddenly, Wan Taejong looks interested. Exceptionally powerful, huh? Juan leans forward with the million-dollar question. If he's that good, what's his level? But the lieutenant freezes. He doesn't have a number. When he tried to scan him earlier, error. Nothing. Hearing the silence, Juan nearly busts a gut, laughing. Call yourself a lieutenant. Some rando with no ID breaks protocol. Wanders into a kill zone and you want me to stop the show, you trolling. Then the woman next to him pipes up. Guys probably toast before we even hit send. They're treating the lieutenant like a total clown. Zero brains. But hey, you're funny. You really called Central Command for this garbage. Juan glances at the woman smirking. Guess nobody taught these grunts how to handle themselves. Who's their handler anyway? The air in the room shifts. Just casual banter to them. While I can't technically butt in on how he runs his squad, this grunt is making a scene. If he tells Brass you blocked the operation, it's on you. Your call, Commander. Park Soo-jin watches the scene unfold. Facing a situation like this, is he really going to throw his own men under the bus? She looks at the big guy next to her and sees a total amateur. Zero leadership skills. If he didn't have raw power and the right connections, he'd be nobody. Park Soo-jin shifts her gaze back to the screen. Her star pupil is risking his career to save a total stranger, even willing to scrap the mission. She knows the lieutenant. He's not an idiot. He's sharp. So if he's going to bat for this random hunter this hard, that guy must be the real deal. The lieutenant can't even meet Park Soo-jin's eyes, just stares at the floor silent. Park Soo-jin thinks it over. Time to make a move. She can't tick off the big guy, but she has to back her subordinate. She finally speaks up. Look, I'm going to assume you didn't just sabotage our entire strategy for kicks. You must have a reason. So here's the deal. Convince me right now, or the countdown continues. The operation proceeds. And if you fail, I'll personally see to it that you face a court-martial. It's a calculated move offering a lifeline while dodging political heat from the bigwigs. But Lieutenant Lee frozen. He's only known her for 5 minutes, and he's paralyzed. A military tribunal means game over. And let's be real, don't the powerful always write their own rules? She glances sideways at Wan Taeyong. That should satisfy you. Right, let's at least hear his defense. Wan is fuming, but he's not stupid enough to step to Park Soo-jin. She is an S-rank hunter after all. So he shifts his rage onto the lieutenant. First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun, give me a valid reason to stop this fast. Or Park Soo-jin, and I will end your career together. Lee knows there's no escape route, so he drops the bomb. The target. The man inside. He annihilated a level 45 Kraken hatchling. 1 hit. As the report lands, Park Soo-jin's eyes go wide with shock. That's absolute insanity. If that intel is real, isn't he stronger than an A rank? He could be a covert military S-rank operative. If he's one of ours, we have to abort immediately, but Juan cuts her off cold. Impossible. Every single S-rank is tracked and deployed. No confirmed biosignals. This guy, just some random wildcard. Park Soo-jin is shook, but her tactical brain is still firing. Why didn't you scan his stats? You have the insight skill, don't you? It doesn't add up. Confronted by the S rank, the lieutenant stammers. He's still trying to process the horror himself. I tried. After activating the skill, I saw nothing, blank, and it drained my life force. Actually, the backlash from just trying to read him nearly took me out. That has never happened before. Now Park Soo-jin is completely floored. She knows Lee has successfully scanned her before, and that was tough enough. But failing completely, that proves the power gap is astronomical. The difference in levels is so vast he couldn't even peek. The lieutenant whispers, he's a monster. If I hadn't passed out from the shock, I never would have let him walk into that blast zone. At this, even Juan loses his cool. You couldn't read him. What is he level 100? The command center goes deathly silent. You could hear a pin drop as they try to process the terrifying data. Juan's fingers drum frantically on his armrest. This is a nightmare scenario. Then Juan hardens his resolve. The hunter is strong. I get it. But that is not enough to stop the clock. Another figure rises from the shadows. Commander of the East, Shu Yin-ho, a level 44 mage. He backs Juan's play. We cannot abandon a massive military operation on a hunch. We have thousands of troops from 4 corps, locked in, encircling the kill zone. The plan is precise: bombard the area, then mop up the survivors. But if we broadcast an abort signal, the noise will trigger every beast in the vicinity. They'll swarm the sound source, all of them converging on one point. If that happens, our lines break, and the entire region gets overrun. Thousands of soldiers' lives are on the scale. Trading an army for one unknown hunter, I simply won't do it. He looks genuinely pained. Even if he is S-rank, the math doesn't work. We can't take the risk. I'm sorry. Hearing the verdict, First Lieutenant Lee feels his stomach drop. The thought of vaporizing such a supreme talent makes him sick. But the final call isn't his. He looks to the commander, desperate for a miracle. Park Soo-jin's face is a mask of conflict. She hesitates, realizing both high commanders have shut it down. Delaying further just invites catastrophe. She steels herself. Request denied, Lieutenant. We're not sacrificing the mission for one man. The call cuts out abruptly. Final verdict, 0 objections allowed. The hologram in front of Lee Han-jun fades to black. Han-jun screams into the comms, but it's dead air. Absolute radio silence from the device. The 3 soldiers in the tent hang their heads in defeat. But Han-jun, he's vibrating with pure rage. Crack. He crushes the comms device in his bare hand. Even the commander just stands there totally clueless. A soldier rests a heavy hand on his shoulder. Lieutenant, you did everything you could. Don't beat yourself up over this. Han-jun is drowning in frustration. He hates it. Hates that he's just a pawn with 0 real power. Completely useless. And now, the country is about to lose a god-tier hunter. His face twists in agony, but orders are absolute. He can't defy the higher-ups. The brass made the call. But suddenly the soldier next to him gets this look. A wild, desperate spark in his eyes. His gaze locks onto one thing, the car keys dangling from the lieutenant's belt. 0 hesitation. He swipes the keys. The lieutenant blinks, totally caught off guard. What the hell, give those back. But the kid already has a plan. A suicide mission. Drive into the kill zone. Warn that S-class hunter. 6 minutes, until the bombs drop. He might just make it. The soldier moves like lightning, tearing open the jeep door and slamming the ignition. Heart pounding, praying, please let me make it. The lieutenant screams after him, you idiot. You want a court-martial? Get your ass back here, if anyone's going. It should be me, but the kid isn't listening. He stomps the gas pedal. The jeep screeches away in a cloud of dust. Another soldier turns to Han Jun, panic in his voice. Lieutenant, your orders. We need to drag him back or he's dead, but the lieutenant just pulls his cap down over his eyes. He doesn't stop him. Let him go. Kid's got guts. If he didn't do it, I would have. All we can do is pray he didn't just sign his own death warrant. Just come back alive. You reckless moron. Meanwhile, the jeep tears down the road. 5 minutes left on the clock. Driving might not be enough. The kid has no clue, but he's about to change the fate of the entire world. Because the man he's saving, he's humanity's last hope. The soldier scans the horizon, desperate for any sign of me. Heart racing, zero clue where I am. He's ripping through the eastern route pedal to the metal. But I'm nowhere to be seen, which means I'm moving faster than his engine can handle. He finally hits the edge of Zone X. He eyes the PA system. If he blasts the speakers, I might hear him. He hesitates. Turning that on is like ringing the dinner bell for every monster in a 5-mile radius. Instant death. While he freezes up, the clock ticks down. 2 minutes left. Before the carpet bombing obliterates everything, he steels himself and reaches for the mic. Screw it. I'm nobody anyway. If I can save that hunter, then my life is a cheap price to pay. Doubt vanishes. He grips the mic. He pulls it close, ready to shout. But his voice locks up. Pure terror. He opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. 10 precious seconds wasted as the jeep rolls forward. He feels like total garbage. A disgrace to the uniform. A coward. He doesn't belong here. Wait. If he was really a coward, would he be on this suicide run? He sucks in a breath, summons every ounce of courage, and screams, "Hey, mysterious hunter. It's me, the soldier you saved. I don't know if you're out there or if you can even hear this. But if you can, you need to run. They're bombing the whole zone. Command couldn't stop it. It's already in motion. I came to get you out. You're gonna die if you stay here." His voice booms across the empty streets. The warning echoes over and over. Suddenly, I skid to a halt. He came back. For me, I scan the area. No wonder it's a ghost town. Not a single hunter in sight. They're gonna level the place. I clench my fist so hard my knuckles crack. These low-level creeps can barely tickle me, but thermal resistance, that's a variable I haven't tested. I don't know the specs on this country's tech, but if they're confident these nukes will wipe the board, then there's a solid chance my body gets vaporized right along with the trash mobs. Even if I tank the blast, I'm looking at critical damage. No time to hesitate, my silhouette glitches and blurs as I lock onto the audio signature. That kid drove into a death trap. Just to give me a heads up, no way I'm letting a brave soul like that punch his ticket today. Meanwhile, the rookie is spiraling hard. He's deep in the kill zone on the verge of tears, seeing absolutely zero sign of me. The clock is the real enemy. At 4:59 and 25 seconds in the afternoon, the swarm pinpoints the noise and dives. By 4:59 and 32 seconds, the beasts are right on top of him. You can see the soul leaving the soldier's body. Game over. Just like I calculated, the loudspeaker was a dinner bell. Time check, 4:59, 38 seconds. Survival instinct kicks in. He whips the steering wheel. He needs to bail now. At 4:59 and 49 seconds, he slams the brakes. He stops cold because he remembers me. I'm still out there, exposed. If he runs, the hunter gets glassed with no warning. That's a hero move. But just as he grips the mic to scream, one last warning. While driving, a massive monstrosity drops from the sky like a meat meteor. The kid is catatonic with fear, completely missing the fact that I'm standing right beside him, casually tapping on his window. When his brain finally reboots, he looks up to see me staring back like, "You good? Thank God you're breathing." I cut to the chase. What's the intel? Are they actually nuking this sector? But the soldier can't even get the words out because the countdown hits 4:59 and 59 seconds. 1 second left on the doomsday clock. Beep, 5 o'clock sharp. You hear that, the screaming whistle of heavy ordnance. Launching from HQ. Target locked. In the blink of an eye, the payload rains down on the city, turning the entire block into a blazing hellscape. Impact. The shockwave rips through the concrete, hurling massive debris straight at our faces. I don't hesitate. I slam my fist into the asphalt. The earth obeys. Massive stone barriers erupt from the ground. I backhand the incoming. Rubble like it's nothing, keeping the jeep and the kid in a pristine safety bubble. Back at the command center, they're watching the fireworks. They just carpet-bombed Sector X from 5 angles. Smoke clears, and the kill count should be massive. Huang Taeyong goes cold. Launch the drones. I want damage assessment on the hostiles and coordinates on any survivors. Now, but here's the glitch. The sensors are flatlining. 0 life signs detected. The command room goes quiet. Where did an entire army of monsters disappear to? A split second later, the operator gasps. They didn't vanish. The monsters are still standing in the kill zone. Not only that, the beasts at ground zero are untouched. The command crew is absolutely shook. How our weapons tech is top tier. This isn't possible. Anything under level 50 should be dust. Park Soo-jin narrows her eyes. Pull up the visuals. I need eyes on the target. The operator furiously types, hijacking a distant drone feed. She syncs the live video to the main tactical display. Every eye in the room is glued to the big screen. The feed stabilizes and jaws drop. A crimson energy dome is wrapping the entire horde. No one knows where this shield came from. Mobs don't have that kind of magic. But then they spot him. A hooded figure perched on a monster's shoulder, like a king white hair flowing in the wind. Mystery solved. That impenetrable barrier, it's coming from him. Suddenly static. The screen goes black. The drone just got SWAT. It's an ambush. They prep another drone for launch, but the second it crosses into enemy airspace, the monsters lock on instantly. Signal lost. Again, the beast's palm just closes, crunching the high-tech gear into a scrap metal ball like it's nothing. Command center is now completely blind in Zone X. Every single eye in the sky has been obliterated. Park Soo-jin's face goes dark. They said this raid would be routine, but that was calculated. A terrifying thought hits her. Did these things actually evolve? Human-level intelligence. Do they know we're watching? The top brass is losing their minds. If she's right, we're looking at a massacre. The commander screams for an immediate evac of the residential district. Pull every soldier back. Park Soo-jin starts barking. Orders into the comms. Hold the wall at all costs. This is the final line. Do not let a single one of those freaks step a foot outside Zone X. But then a report comes in that freezes everyone in the room. The horde isn't targeting civilians. They're ignoring the city and swarming toward Zone B. 22 like they're being pulled by a magnet. The radar confirms it, they're breaching Zone B. 22 right now. It clicks for Park Soo-jin. That's exactly where the mystery guy went. But why? Are the monsters so obsessed with that specific spot? She redirects every remaining drone to Zone B2 immediately. They need visuals on whatever stopped the monsters' advance. Meanwhile, the bombardment in Zone B2 has gone silent. The whole area is just smoking ruins. Dust settles, and that one soldier finally works up the nerve to exit his vehicle. He pats his chest, unable to believe. He walked away from that explosion. He spots me and rushes over, hyped to talk, but I'm zoned in, staring dead ahead without blinking. I turn and tell him to get lost. Because if you're breathing, it means the monsters are breathing too, and they're coming straight for us. Suddenly, my eyes narrow. Incoming. A projectile screams through the air. Just before it takes the soldier's head off, I shove him into the dirt. We look closer. It's not a rock. It's a military drone. The soldier is shook. Since when do monsters swat down drones? That's impossible. That's never happened in the history of these raids. I tell him to save the shock. The real show is just starting. He looks up and his jaw drops. Hundreds of them. A literal wall of monsters slowly marching our way. The soldier's heart practically explodes. What is this? They've never grouped up like an army before. And their levels. Insane. Level 50. Level 60. This is the elite squad, and that massive leader in the back is a level 90 boss. The soldier's legs give out. He hits the ground hopeless. It's over. No way we're leaving this alive. I tell him to quit doom spiraling. If the airstrikes didn't work, I've got a backup plan. And honestly, mine is way simpler than dropping bombs. I'm just gonna beat them until they stop moving. I don't waste another second. I launch myself forward. I shout for the soldier to hide in the jeep. I become a blur, and every time I pass a monster, they get absolutely wrecked. But they're just obstacles. My eyes are locked on the big boss. There's a figure standing on its shoulder. Time to see who's pulling the strings. I sprint, but a tank-sized monster cuts me off, swinging a massive iron hammer at my skull. Bad move. It doesn't expect me to catch the hammer with one hand. I scoff internally. You really thought a basic attack like that would leave a scratch? Pathetic. In a split second, I launch this level 60 beast into the sky. Gravity hasn't even caught up before I slam it back down into the concrete. I don't stop. I charge. Straight at the figure on the boss's shoulder, leaking a terrifying, murderous aura. The monster panics, raising a shield to block my path. Cute, but to me that shield might as well be paper. I cock my fist back, channeling every ounce of power. Boom! The level 60 defender gets obliterated by a single punch. Its head doesn't just break, it detonates. Instant. Red mist. I land on the shoulder, standing face to face with the figure. And I can't help but, I'm freaking out. Major red flag here, this guy has absolutely zero aura. It's like looking at a void. If he wasn't standing right in front of my face, I wouldn't even know he existed. This situation just went from bad to complicated. And his power level, he's not just another mob. This guy is in a completely different league compared to those trash monsters. Then a crisp voice cuts through the air. Finally. I've been waiting for you. Blink and you miss it, the head I just smashed. It's knitting itself back together. Snap. Good as new. Like I barely tickled him. But the regen isn't the crazy part. This thing isn't just a beast. It speaks. Fluent English. Thief. Give it back. I'm stunned. What is he blabbering about? Robbed you, when he just lets out this twisted, creepy cackle. Suddenly, crimson energy flares up, exploding from his palm. He screams that I stole his loot, and now I gotta pay with my life. Out of nowhere, pitch-black blades materialize behind me. Weapon summoning cute. Crack. I catch the blade and crush it like a soda can. Pathetic. That toothpick couldn't even scratch my skin, let alone break my defense. I lock eyes with him. If that's your best shot, you're already dead. I flip his own shattered weapon back at him. Drop the hood. Let's see who's hiding under there. Boom, the giant beast rushes me. Its massive paw slams onto my shoulder, trying to crush me with sheer brute force. Overhead, a drone buzzes, capturing every frame of this showdown. Cloak Guy glances up board. Human tech, a spy drone. Are they watching me? Meanwhile, I don't even flinch. As the giant pushes down, I shove back hard. I launch myself straight at the hooded figure. You want me dead? Try harder. Because this weak sauce isn't gonna cut it. But he just stands there looking bored. I scoff. Funny. After grinding for 500 years to become the Abyss King, my first day back on Earth. And I'm getting looked down on. Yeah, right. I lunge to impale him, expecting blood, but poof, he vanishes into thin air like smoke. My blade meant for his chest slams into the giant monster's shoulder instead. What the? How did he dodge that? He rematerializes at the monster's feet, looking annoyed. Filthy humans watching me. It's disgusting. Slowly, the hooded guy raises his hand, swirling currents of air around his fingers. He's not just summoning weapons. He's puppeteering these beasts. One gesture and the command is given. Destroy the drone. Wipe out the witnesses. Cut to a blown-out building nearby. A soldier is hiding frantically, piloting. The drone, his eyes glued to the chaos outside. Suddenly static. Signal lost. Drone down. But he got the footage. He replays the clip, fixated on my silhouette. He realizes, that guy, he's why the monsters turned back. His eyes go wide. No way. Is that the hunter who soloed the beast wave? Even through a screen, the power radiating off him is insane. He reaches for his radio. Commander I, suddenly a massive claw creeps up behind him, but it doesn't strike. Instead, it gently pushes the door shut. Click. It's boxing him in, like a rat in a cage. The soldier freezes, total despair kicking in. They found him way too fast. Back outside, I spotted tentacled freaks scaling the building. Cloak Guy bursts out laughing. Feast my pets, kill them all. That's when the soldier's warning echoes in my head. A strong hunter could save everyone. That grunt. He risked his neck to tell me to run just so I could live to save others. I glance at his jeep, buried under rubble. Hopeless. Decision made. I dive bomb from the sky. Snake strategy. Cut off the head. If I drop the boss, the pack falls apart. No more hunting my people. I hit the ground hard. Time is lives. I need to zero this guy. Now. The giant behemoth swings at me again. I sidestep. Too slow, ugly. But something's off. Since merging with Hooded Guy, this monster's hitting power is. I'm already struggling to hold back this monster's relentless assault, but things are about to get worse. Suddenly, a mysterious figure blindsides me. I sense him closing in fast, but panic isn't an option. This guy is persistent. Does he really want me dead that badly? And then in the heat of the moment, I catch a glimpse of something shocking. This guy, he's my exact doppelganger. But there's no time to process that, because he just manifested a pitch-black longsword out of thin air. That is definitely bad news. I can feel the energy radiating off that blade. It is absolutely suffocating. It's surging with power. The stranger speaks, his voice dripping with malice. I'm ending you, Abyss Thief. I'm taking back everything I lost. He doesn't waste another second, hurling the blade straight at my heart. But I've already calculated the trajectory. The second he strikes, I snap my wrist and counter. My fist connects hard with his wrist crack. The shockwave forces his grip to slip. Perfect timing. My left hand snatches the falling blade before it hits the ground. He didn't see that coming. Weapon secured. I immediately shift into a stance, slashing back instantly. There is zero way he dodges this. Pure terror flashes across his face. I swing the blade with everything. I've got a clean, lethal arc. But nothing. No impact. No resistance. I didn't expect him to slip away like a ghost. His ability is insane. Never seen anything like it. He literally just nullified his physical form. But right now, I need to analyze this weapon. Maybe I'm tripping, but the energy humming inside this blade feels incredibly familiar. I focus on the aura again. No mistake. This sword is pulsing with the power of the abyss. Now that is a pleasant surprise. Who knew I'd find high-tier loot like this on the surface world? Looks like I scored big time. The hooded guy is fuming now, screaming, "You're nothing but a scavenger stealing other people's weapons." A split second later, he flicks his claws in a weird gesture. And just like that, the sword in my hand disintegrates into ash. So that's how Abyss Authority works. There's clearly a ton of mechanics I haven't unlocked yet. The next round of this fight, it's gonna be brutal. But first, priority 1, get the soldier to safety. I ask him, "You scared of heights, kid?" He shakes his head no. Good. I hoist the entire vehicle over my head. Hang on tight because this ride is about to get extremely turbulent. I'm sprinting you back to headquarters, but I missed one detail. The hooded psycho is grinning like a maniac. I've got you now, he sneers. You just exposed your weakness. Trying to play hero, watch me slaughter him. Dark energy swirls in his palm. The strong don't exist to babysit the weak, he lectures. We exist to dominate. As he brings his hand down, I sense a massive energy spike directly behind me. This guy just won't quit. Even with my speed, that black sphere is tracking us. It's going to hit. I have to drop the car gently. Change of plans, I'm destroying that projectile first. I launch myself into the air, smash the orb, then save the soldier. I channel every ounce of power into my right fist. One shot, one kill. My fist collides with the black sphere, boom, I thought I nailed it. But there's no feedback, no impact. I look up and realize I just punched smoke. The real black orb was cloaked behind the fog, and then the sound of a scream from below shatters my focus. We're in trouble. It was a diversion. I can't be in two places at once and the hooded man's attack. It's already engulfed the vehicle. I scream at the top of my lungs, bail out, jump out of the car now. Better to break a leg than die in that box, but he doesn't know that black tendrils are already spawning inside the cabin. The villain's voice whispers right in the soldier's ear, don't be scared. Poor little lamb, I'm taking you home. Then I witness something straight out of a nightmare. Those tendrils. They instantly harden into spikes and skewer the entire vehicle from the inside out. Game over. The soldier didn't stand a chance. I rush to the wreckage, praying there's still a pulse. The hooded man is loving this. Oh, you mad, don't lose your cool now. Actually, scratch that. Your rage makes this so much sweeter. I snap the spikes with a furious swipe. But the moment I clear the debris, the soldier's body is just hanging there, suspended by the enemy's magic. Then his eyes snap open. He's moving. It's the vilest skill in the book, necromancy. He's reanimating the fresh corpse. The dead are walking. The hooded man struts like he's already won, flaunting his twisted power right in my face. Watching everyone you love drop dead right in front of you, eyes peeled helpless. He calls that feeling pure bliss. But he has no clue he just triggered a rage that's about to end him. Only one of us leaves this spot alive. I part my lips, voice cold. You get a kick out of crushing people's dignity too, huh? Total flashback to the high school bullies making my life hell. He sees the fury written all over my face, and the cloak-wearing creep just gets more hype. Don't state the obvious, kid. Where's the fun in that? Then he makes his move. A barrage of razor-sharp rocks shoots straight from his palm. I don't even flinch. I just tank the hits, letting them smash against me, knowing they won't scratch my HP. I play it cool on the outside, but inside I'm absolutely volcanic. Ready to blow. Whoosh. I vanish from the spot instantly. By the time I manifest again, I've hit the ground, locked in an attack stance. Trash like you doesn't deserve to breathe. Deep breath in. I channel every ounce of power I have into my right hook. Don't run now, coward. Let's settle this right here, life or death. I'm taking this to the bitter end. In a split second, Cloak Guy blinks out of existence, vanishing from the car. He's not dumb enough to tank a hit that heavy. Staying there would have been straight up suicide. Boom, I throw the punch anyway, ripping through the air like I'm trying to tear reality apart. Just the shockwave shatters his spike barrage. I grit, my teeth glaring. He better pray I don't get an opening, cause if I do, I'm crushing his skull like a grape. I snap out of it just in time to catch the falling soldier. He's gone, already dead, but I can't let them desecrate his body any further. Debris scatters everywhere from the impact. But here's the sick part, even though the soldier's dead, Cloak Guy is still pulling his strings like a puppet. Looking at the soldier, the guilt hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this mess. I gently lay him down inside the car for safety. Rest easy, brother. I swear to the heavens I'm getting payback for you today. Soldier secured, now it's go time. You're next. A life for a life, blood for blood. Zoom. I burst forward, maxing out my speed stats. In the blink of an eye, I'm right in his face. He barely has time to flinch. But then something's off. My fist. It isn't connecting. He's using abyss energy to phase through my attacks. Before I can process it, his presence spikes right behind me. You noob. You can't even control the abyss yet, and you think you can take me. You've got a death wish. I smirk internally. Gotcha, idiot. You just walked right into my trap. I spin and launch a devastating... I coolly dust off my knuckles, watching the aftermath of my strike. I just caved his face in with a single punch, sending that caped clown ragdolling backward until he faceplants into the concrete with a sickening metallic crunch. I flick the blood off my hand like it's nothing. This guy, he's not even in my league. Seriously, where does he get off acting so high and mighty? Looks like he needed a brutal reality check to learn his place. Even while down, Hoodie is still desperately spamming his monster minions to wall me off. Classic stall tactics. He's staring at me totally shook, probably wondering, how did this trash actually hurt me? I don't give him time to process. I speed blitz right in front of him like a glitch in the Matrix. You moron. People evolve. Or are you too thick to learn anything? Today you're checking out permanently to pay for my brother's life. Now, the guy in the cape is trembling, pure horror in his eyes. He's never seen anyone level up this fast in real time. He knows if this drag-out fight continues, he's toast. So he leaps onto a monster's shoulder, trying to bail. Like, I'm gonna let that slide. I launch myself upward, matching his altitude in a heartbeat. You think you can just ghost me after murdering my brother? Not a chance. But this snake is trickier than I gave him credit for. The second I hit the air, he jukes downward. The hooded man is sweating bullets now. He realizes I'm way stickier than he imagined. My eyes are locked on him, radiating pure killing intent. You might slip through my fingers once, but let's see you dodge this. Next second, I bring the hammer down. I'm unloading a massive strike fueled by the cursed abyss itself. I am absolutely ending you today. The shockwave obliterates the monster's body instantly. But get this, the beast actually starts stitching itself back together. Oh hell no, not this time. My hands plunge into the monster's open wounds, physically grabbing the core. I rip that abyss energy straight out of its system. The monster stares at me terrified. How are you doing that without an abyss buff? Its body starts disintegrating into dust. I ignore it and dive bomb straight for the round. Caped coward. Don't even dream of escaping my range today. That move triggers him. Driven into a corner, he decides to pop his ultimate ability out of desperation. He screams Shadow Union, and suddenly every monster in the vicinity gets drained dry as he siphons their abyss power. A terrifying aura explodes from the hooded guy. He blasts me with a concentrated beam of abyss energy, blinding me instantly. Through the glare, I swear I see a silhouette blur past me. A second later, the dust settles and it's dead silent. The hooded guy, gone without a trace. I'm standing there stunned. Did he seriously burn a god-tier ultimate just to run away? I throw my shredded coat on the ground. My gear is trashed, but thank God the photo of my parents is safe. I rip open the car door, only to find the soldier inside is already gone. A cold corpse. Looks like the necromancy spell broke when the caster fled. I grab his dog tags, dig a quick grave, and bury him right there. His death is on me. I have to carry that weight. Thinking about that caped psycho who looks exactly like my twin, my blood boils. This isn't over. He absorbed all those shadows, meaning he could ambush me anytime. Plus, his threat about watching my loved ones die is living rent-free in my head. I need to get to the shelter fast. I can't let him beat me there. Without hesitation, I stomp the ground and launch forward. I'm moving like a lightning bolt, tearing toward Shelter 6. But what I don't realize is that our entire brawl was captured in 4K by a drone hovering above. 15 minutes later, Park Soo-jin pulls up to the scene. She barks orders to her squad to scour the area no rats allowed to. Slip the net. One soldier checks the drone footage, and his jaw hits the floor. The feed shows every single monster was systematically wiped out. Park Soo-jin, the legendary S-rank hunter, feels a chill run down her spine. She orders a full data dump immediately. She spots the battle scars on the terrain. That rookie hunter Lee Han-jun, the one they talked about, didn't just survive the bombardment, he soloed the entire monster nest. Honestly, even an S-rank would struggle to pull off a cleanup this clean. Boom. Right then, Park Soo-jin's subordinate strikes gold. He spots a drone lying on the ground, completely untouched. His gaze sharpens instantly. The SD card inside the machine. It's in mint condition. I can pull the data. Right. Now. 60 seconds later, Park Soo-jin is locked onto the drone footage. She scans the feed frame by frame, hunting for any glitch, any clue. And there he is, the soldier who reported to me earlier. Standing right beside him, a guy with stark white hair. That's gotta be our mystery hunter. While Park Soo-jin dissects the footage, her squad is busy down below, scavenging the loot dropped by the monsters. Suddenly, one grunt spots something radiating a deep purple glow. The item stats pop up in his vision. It's a white vial, a special energy potion that permanently buffs the user's magic power. Next, a white blade. An A-rank weapon, the ancient royal dagger. But the thing that really grabs him, the item that screams jackpot, is this golden box. Its stats completely unreadable. Era. Just as he reaches out to snag the loot, a voice creeps up from behind. Yo, what'd you find? He instantly clutches the treasures tight against his chest, stammering, nothing, found nothing. But before he can even blink, a figure from above drops down with a wicked cackle. The soldier flinches, terrified this guy is gonna blow his cover. The newcomer sizes up the box instantly. If I'm not mistaken, that loot dropped from the raid leader. Looks like a rare item. Can't even scan the stats, huh? A sly grin creeps across his face. Pocketing military property. That's a court-martial offense. You know the drill. The soldier's heart drops into his stomach. Is he gonna rat me out? I'm dead meat. Cornered. He proposes a deal. Let's split it. You snitch, you get 0. The guy looks satisfied with the terms and goes straight for the golden box. The soldier panics. Hey, that box definitely has a legendary item inside. I can't just give that up. The man grips his shoulder hard. You got 0 leverage here, pal. Either I pick first or I report you right now. Defeated, the soldier reluctantly hands over the golden box. Clutching the prize, the man's face twists into a sinister smirk. Finally, the puppet reliquary is mine. Meanwhile, after hoofing it for miles, I finally make it to shelter number 6. I scan the perimeter. Doesn't look like any monsters have hit this place lately. Security is tight. Heavy artillery positioned in the rear. Civilians coming and going look pretty chill. This shelter's definitely got some heavy hitters protecting it. I step forward to enter, but my mind drifts back to that hooded figure from earlier. I couldn't sense his presence at all. Actually, I don't sense any powerful aura here. But if this place didn't have elite guardians, it would have been wiped off the map ages ago. Right at that moment, a guy in a conical hat steps right in my path. I pause. Is this guy blind? Does he not know how to watch where he's walking? But nope, he's zeroing in on me. Your blood. It's so thick. You're from the outside world, aren't you? I give a curt nod. What do you want? I'm busy. No time for small talk. The man chuckles. In that case, let's make a deal. He flashes a wad of cash. I want to buy intel about the outside world from you. Fine by me. If it's something I know, I'll spill. Just as he starts looking smug, I cut in. But first, I've got a question for you. A monk speaking so formally. You gotta be a fake. The man bursts into laughter. Didn't expect to get busted that fast. The outfit. Just a hobby. I point a finger at his face. Is covering your eyes a hobby too? He looks thrown off. What a pain in the ass, he thinks. He pulls down the eye covering, revealing shut eyelids. Picked up an eye condition recently. Literally can't open them. But I'm not buying it. I can feel a terrifying light radiating from those slits. This guy is definitely more than meets the eye. He's got his reasons for hiding his power. Looks like this shelter is hiding a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't push it. So what intel are you looking for? Finally, it's his turn to ask the questions. The guy's been holed up in this city for ages. He's itching to know the state of the world. He's clocked the armed troops gathering on the city walls. They're clearly shifting into combat readiness mode. He knows the average civilian. Hasn't realized it yet, but he heard explosions echoing from the distance. Piqued his curiosity. He wants the real scoop on what's going down out there. I pause, processing his words. This guy is sharp, sharper than I thought. Better keep my cards close to my chest for now. I let out a laugh. Honestly, I've got zero clue what went down out there. Just heard a massive boom coming from the southwest. Scared the living daylights out of me. Dropped my cards and had to MacGyver a map out of my shirt. This clearly throws the guy off. He mutters loud enough to hear, playing the weakling card, huh? Hiding your true strength. Still, he tosses me the cash for the intel. A general direction is all he needed. Solid help. He actually starts walking toward that vague spot without looking back. Curious what his endgame is. No telling how many heavy hitters like him are crawling around this city, so I gotta keep a low profile. Can't risk making a scene. It'd only mess up my search. Plus, there's another red flag. A shady character like me just breezing through town. That proves there are some serious individuals running the show here. Or maybe we're all just facing a bigger threat, so they've stopped sweating the humans. Time flies, suddenly night falls. I duck into a clothing store and blow some of that monk's cash. Picked up a trench coat. Gotta admit, it looks pretty sick. Putting it on gives me main character energy. Think that guy's name was Chen Xiaoyu, but whatever priority one is tracking down mom and dad. Scanning the area, this place is way more massive than I thought. Looks like high-tech searching isn't gonna cut it. Gonna have to go old school asking strangers. Fingers crossed this doesn't go sideways. I gently tap a lady on the shoulder. Excuse me, miss, ever seen this couple? But her reaction, total shock. She starts waving her hands like crazy, swearing she's never laid eyes on them. Then she bolts. I'm standing there totally stunned. That was way too dramatic. She acted like I just showed her a poltergeist. Suddenly, some dude comes up from behind, cursing up a storm. His loud mouth grabs my attention. Unbelievably, he beelines right for me, looking ticked off. You hitting on girls in the middle of the night. Pathetic. The second the word leaves his lips, I blink into existence right in his face, staring daggers. Watch your mouth, pal. We lock eyes and I can see the cold sweat instantly dripping down his face. This guy ain't a local. He points at my picture. What century is this? Who uses physical photos to pick up chicks these days? Lame, I shove the photo closer. Just answer the question. Have you seen these two? The guy freezes. You just harassing everyone you see, but mid-sentence, his voice cuts out. His face twists into pure horror. Where did you get that? He looks up trembling. What's your connection to them? My heart skips a beat. Finally, a lead. I immediately tell him the truth. I'm their son. Spiky hair squints, comparing my face to the kid in the picture, like he's playing Spot the Difference. You look nothing like him, he snaps, rolling up his sleeves, ready to throw hands. You playing games with me. Right then, a transport truck hauling monsters comes barreling through. The driver panics, slamming the brakes, but I don't even flinch. I ignore the chaos. The truck smashes into me with full force, bam, but I don't move a single inch. Spiky Hair's jaw hits the floor. He's looking at me like he can't decide if I'm a human or a ghost. I brush some dust off my shoulder. Sorry, missed that. What were you saying? The guy's tough guy act evaporates. He turns into a total puppy, bowing and scraping. He even pretends we're old pals. Oh, it's you. Long time no see. He points down the street. Just head straight that way, you can't miss it. Man, I even held you when you were a baby. Remember, I ignore his rambling and start walking. Appreciate it. Once I find them, I'll make it worth your while. Spiky hair forces a smile and waves. No need for that, friends. Help friends, right? No reward necessary. But the second I turn around, he sprints the opposite direction like his pants are on fire. That screams trouble. Gotta warn the crew, I'm a little confused. Even a low-level thug knows where my house is. It's wild. But thinking back, it makes sense. Dad was always super friendly to literally everyone. Probably left a huge impression on people just by being his usual chatty self. Mom was the same way, always looking out for the neighbors. But people that kind, they just get eaten alive in a world like this. I clench my fists tight. My parents are good people. But me, I'm not. Now that I'm back, I'm their shield. Nobody messes with them while I'm breathing. After a short walk, I pause at the corner. This matches the spot Spiky Hair pointed out. Weirdly, the street is dead silent. No people. Just a massive imposing wall blocking the entrance. Do they seriously live in a fortress? Looks pretty high-end. Just judging by the gate, Mom and Dad must be balling out in this city. Guess they haven't been struggling after all. Relief washes over me as I knock on the heavy door. Showtime. It hits me instantly. That voice. It's echoing from inside. Familiar but feeling like it's a million miles away. 500 years. 5 centuries since I heard that sound. It's Dad. He's probably talking to Mom. Did you wrap up? Your shift early today. He swings the door open, expecting a warm welcome from his wife, but instead, he gets a face full of me. Standing there, white hair flowing. As soon as I lock eyes with him, I freeze too. Dad. He's weathered. He's changed way more than I pictured. His confusion morphs into pure rage in a split second. His face twists up. Who the hell are you? You're blocking me from greeting my wife. He stares me down, drilling holes into my soul, but there's zero recognition. Can't blame the guy. 500 years of trauma changes a man. I haven't aged a day, but I'm not the same kid he knew. Dad, it's me. It's your son. Did you really forget? He flinches, caught off guard. Then he scoffs. You think I'm an idiot. My boy doesn't have white hair. He drags me into the living room. We sit down, and the silence is deafening. Mom breaks the tension, walking in with tea. Dad finally speaks, voice low and suspicious. I don't buy it. You look nothing like our son. We're gonna need to run some tests. I let out a dry chuckle. What kind of tests are we talking about, Dad? He insists I've changed too much, so now we have to swap. Father-son secrets. Only family intel will convince him. But here's the kicker. His eyes dart to the ceiling. The shadow unit is hiding up there. One wrong word and they take me out. Cute. He doesn't realize. I clock every move he makes. He's still on high alert. Honestly, the tight security makes me feel better. Dad's been handling business while I was gone. All right, time for our exclusive secrets. I actually feel bad for the assassin up there, because that poor guy is about to hear some things he really shouldn't. Round 1, I announce. Every weekend, you sneak off to the home economic support group. For cooking lessons, Dad freezes. How do you know that up in the rafters, the shadow unit leader is shook? He never pictured the big boss apron-clad whisking eggs at a community center. That's just the appetizer. Here's the main course, I grin. You take ballet classes, every single week. The assassin in the ceiling wishes he was dead right now. He's wondering if he's making it out of this room alive. He just cannot process the image of the boss doing pirouettes. Dad shoots a death stare at the ceiling, eyes screaming. You picture me in a tutu, and you're dead. Locking eyes with Dad, the shadow leader feels a phantom blade pressing against his throat. Shivers run down his spine. The room gets incredibly awkward. Dad clears his throat, still playing it safe. Stalkers can find out schedules. That proves nothing. I laugh out loud at that. Okay, how about I drop some real family dirt? Dad's eyes widen just a fraction. If you know something, spit it out. Oh, I know things. But don't say I didn't warn you. Are you sure you want an audience for this? Specifically him. I see sweat beading on Dad's forehead. He actually stammers. Just say it. I spin around and point to the weapon rack. That legendary katana. It's a cheap replica. Hearing the word replica, the assassin starts sweating. Bullets. Panic flashes in Dad's eyes, but he doubles down. Don't mess with me. You got proof it's fake. You want proof. I stand up and grab the blade. This handle has teeth marks from my brother, the shadow leader's. Heart is pounding out of his chest. He knows he's a dead man walking, because he knows the official legend. The boss supposedly held that sword in his mouth, hands tied, and slaughtered 38 enemies. He's realizing the legend is a lie. With a swift motion, I whip the sword out. The assassin tenses, ready to pounce, thinking this is his moment to save the boss. But I casually press the blade into my palm. Click. If I remember right, this thing is retractable. See toy sword. Dad snaps. You little bastard. The next second he tackles me, burying his face in my chest. We thought you were dead. We searched for years. We couldn't find you. The tough guy act crumbles. He's sobbing like a baby. That look, that's pure unfiltered relief. Our boy is finally home, ever since I vanished. Mom and Pops never gave up the hunt. Dad tore through every landmark looking for clues, accidentally becoming a mob boss in the process. But look at this tough guy now crying rivers. Talk about a total character break. Hey, can someone get that peeping Tom off the roof? Up there, the Shadow Team captain is absolutely losing his mind. He's never seen the boss act like this. We're talking about a dude who bathed in blood and carnage, a literal god of war. Flashbacks are hitting the captain hard, and then it clicks. He has never ever seen the big man shed a single tear. If he told the crew about this soft moment, they'd laugh in his face. Watching from the shadows, his gut screams danger. Cold sweat is pouring down his forehead like a faucet. Being here feels riskier than the depths of hell. He's gotta bail fast, before they silence him permanently. But just as he tries to ghost, crash, a hand smashes through the ceiling and locks onto his ankle. I look up at the shadow leader, flashing $1 million smile. What's the rush? My old man wants a word. Why don't you do us the honor and come down? Cut to us 4 at the table. Dad turns to the shadow operative. Out of all my minions, you've got the biggest mouth. You know the drill, right? I finish Dad's sentence seamlessly. If this intel leaks, you pay the price. We say it in perfect unison. The shadow leader. Dude is probably seeing his life flash before his eyes. I swear, my lips are sealed. Please have mercy. I mean, even a blind guy could see the family resemblance. If these two aren't father and son, reality is broken. While Dad and I are radiating pure murder vibes, Mom's voice floats in like a melody. You two. Play nice. Stop scaring the poor man. The shadow leader looks at her with puppy dog eyes, like she's the only sane one here. But hold up that smile on Mom's face, it's terrifying. One word gets out, and even I can't save you. The shadow captain nods so fast his head might fly off, vowing total amnesia. I've already forgotten I was here. Then Dad snaps at Mom. Glad he didn't mention I farted or snored while sleeping. Honey, why are you exposing yourself like that? Watching this chaos, I can't help but grin. This right here, this is exactly what I dreamed of for 500 years in the abyss. It's finally real. I'm back, and the fam is safe. Mission objective, keep it that way. Suddenly, my senses tingle. Movement outside. Boom. The front door gets kicked in by some spiky-haired punk. He's got a squad of mean-looking goons behind him. Boss, looking for a white-haired kid. Dude's a monster. Wrecked a whole truck. But the second the door opens, his jaw hits the floor. Seeing me chilling, tranquilly with my parents was not on his bingo card. I glance over my shoulder. You talking about me. When you say white-haired kid, he freezes. He takes a closer look and realizes I'm the exact demon from his memory. The color drains from his face. Boss. That's him. That guy is unnatural. He tanked a truck, and the truck lost. Then he stammers. You might be strong, but we've got the numbers. You can't take us all. He doesn't even realize his knees are knocking together like castanets. Meanwhile, I'm unbothered treating him like background noise. Spiky hair keeps yelling, what are you? Planning with our boss you with the Tiger Roar Guild, I reach out and grab his knees. Relax, buddy. Stop shaking the furniture. I stand up, unleashing a wave of pressure that rattles his soul. I give him a friendly pat. You work for my dad, right? Pops introduced me to the team. Dad laughs, breaking the tension. Don't panic, this is my boy Choi. Yuk-do. Gone for 5 years, but he's back. His current rank is, Dad freezes. It hits him. He has zero clue about my stats. Epic parenting fail. He's been out of the loop way too long. But with his crew watching, he can't look clueless. That would be embarrassing. So, I step in to save the day. Drop a bomb that terrifies everyone. I don't have a system, so I have no idea what my level is. The goons are floored. You survived the Fallen Zone for 5 years with no hacks. No system, dude. How are you even breathing right now? Spiky hair looks like his brain just short-circuited. He's completely lost for words. The logic is simple. No system means you hit a hard cap at level 10, no matter how hard you grind. I actually laugh in his face. I don't know what perks this system gives you guys, but let's be real. Can a level 10 tank a speeding truck? Doesn't seem likely. Long hair steps out from behind, spiky hair dropping a slow whisper. Wait, didn't you hype this guy up as a powerhouse? So how is he basically an NPC with zero system? Spiky hair shuts up, doubting his own eyes. Maybe he hallucinated the whole thing, but deep down, he knows I'm a monster. He felt that pressure. Still, the curiosity is eating him alive. How does a guy this strong exist off the grid? Look, I just clawed my way back from the abyss. I have no clue how their little game interface works. So I tell Spiky Hair, go ahead, scan me, check my level. That freezes him cold. He starts stammering an explanation. You might not know this since you're systemless, but you're missing the basics. Players with the system get a HUD stats monster, levels the works. But other humans, they're blank. Unless you have the specific inspect skill, you can't peep at someone else's build. And that skill is SSR rarity. Super scarce. Turns out my old man is one of the lucky few. I lock eyes with him. All right then, Dad, scan me. I'm actually curious if his Earth-based skill can even process data from the abyss. The tension builds for a heartbeat. The whole room watches Dad swiping and tapping at thin air. To them, he looks crazy, but he's navigating a UI only he can see. Since the system is private, nobody else sees the readout. I turn to Mom. Don't you want to peek at my stats? She just shakes her head. I just want my son back. That's the only stat that matters. But the second those words leave her lips, what the hell? Dad's voice booms through the hall. His system panel is glitching out nothing but a string of red question marks. It can't pull a single byte of data on me. He's looking at his hands like they're broken, refreshing the window over and over. Same result. Error. Dad holds up 2 fingers, his face pale. Theory 1. You genuinely don't have a system. Theory 2. He swallows hard, actually terrified. Your level is so much higher than mine that it breaks the scale. Basically, I'm out of his league. Hearing the boss say that, the entire room of hunters turns into statues. Their guildmaster is already a literal war god, and he just admitted his kid might be stronger. It's insane, Dad clarifies. The interface is blocking your stats and skills, but it displays your name clearly. That confirms it. It's not a bug. It's a power gap. Theory 2 is the winner. You survived the abyss for 5 years, Dad mutters. If you were a rookie, you'd be dead in 5 minutes, let alone 5 years. You have to be stronger than me. Then he asks the question I was dreading. What exactly happened down there? Flashbacks hit me like a train. Blood darkness, endless fighting. My expression goes pitch black. Mom steps in like a guardian angel. Stop grilling him. He's home safe. Isn't that enough? We should be celebrating. She's always been the one believer. In her eyes, I was never weak. She knew I could survive anything, but looking at me now, she knows exactly how much hell I had to walk through to get back to her. Hearing her voice breaks me. My vision blurs. For them, it was 5 years, but for me, I missed her for 500 agonizing years. Every slash, every kill, every nightmare in the abyss flashes by. But holding her now, it was worth every second of torture. I can't stop the tears. I grab her tight. I'm not going anywhere, Mom. I'm staying right here. I'm going to protect you. She collapses into my arms, sobbing. The floodgates just open. She's crying a literal waterfall of relief. Even the war god tears up seeing this. He turns to his squad, waving them off. Get out. Give them a moment. Clear the room. He barks an order. No disturbances for the rest of the day. 0. Because tonight the guildmaster is cooking a massive feast to welcome his boy home. Once the room finally clears out, it's just the family. We catch up, but something feels off. Hey Mom, where's bro? I haven't seen him since I walked in the door. A cold feeling hits my gut. Mom waves it off. Oh, don't overthink it. He's alive and kicking. He just doesn't visit much since he enlisted in the military. But since you're back, I really should call him home for dinner. She shows me a picture of him on her phone. He's been on the front lines fighting like a maniac. Mom says it's like he was trying to avenge my death the whole time. That sounds like him. Growing up, he was my shield. He always stood in front of me. Nobody touched me when he was around. After we talk for a while, I finally ask the burning question. Mom, be real with me. Is your status here like super high? She nods casually, dropping a bomb. Pretty high. I awakened the full priest inheritance. That explains why everyone was so terrified. They're completely under my command. Plus, I'm running a high-tier healer build with massive support buffs. But the real kicker, I unlocked the prophecy skill. Hearing Mom drop that lore bomb leaves me absolutely shook. Wait, since you're a priest, can you scan my status window? But she shuts that down. Wrong skill tree. Then how'd you know I was coming back? You literally had a fresh outfit and a letter waiting in my room. Mom gently cups my face. You dummy. Didn't I just tell you I can see the future? I saw a vision of your return. She chuckles softly. I tried telling your dad, but he thought I was hallucinating. He spent every day grinding from dawn till dusk looking for you and somehow ended up becoming the boss around here. Sadly, prophets can't spoil their own ending without taking massive recoil damage. The skill has crazy cooldowns and strict activation requirements, so I can't just spam it. Just then, the camera pans outside, uninvited guests pulling up, the leaders rocking a nasty scar. Dad spots them and rolls out with his squad to meet them. Welcome back, brother. This guy is Han Tae-san, vice president of the United Guild. But Dad notices the vibe is off. Why the long face? Trouble in paradise. Dad leans in whispering. What's the sit trip I sent spies out to dig up dirt? What'd they find? Han Tae-san keeps it low-key. It's exactly what you thought. Tiger Roar is in bed with the military. Boss, we need to make a move. We turned in the monster loot. Like normal, but that guy with the clipboard started acting super sketchy during inspection. They claimed our kills were too damaged to accept. Total scam. Just endless excuses. They pay us peanuts and report the full value to their superiors. We trace the corruption and it all leads back to Tiger Roar. Dad nods, looking like he just solved the puzzle. Got it. Confirms my theory. If a neutral guild, like Tiger Roar, is pulling these stunts, things are getting messy. But we can't just let them walk all over us. The whole town's future is on the line. Dad doesn't look stressed though. Worst case scenario, we throw hands. But priority 1 is feeding our guests. Suddenly, Dad extends his hand, whoosh, a sword materializes, manifesting instantly in his grip. After we feast, I'm paying Tiger Roar a personal visit to shut this down permanently. You can see the pure killing intent in Dad's eyes. Time to remind them the United Guild isn't soft. Hearing the name Tiger Roar, my expression turns icy. Thanks to that black shard, my stats are overclocked. My strength is up, but my senses, they're on another level. I'm picking up audio from way out. Turns out those bandits I wrecked earlier are linked to Tiger Roar too. I glance at Dad. Since he's heading into a negotiation, I'm low-key worried, because I don't know his power scaling yet. I kick the door open and intercept him. You're grabbing food, right? I'm starving. Mind if I crash the party? And after dinner, I'm rolling with you to Tiger Roar. I want to see who has the guts to mess with us. Hante-san looks totally confused. This white-haired kid has a suffocating aura, but he's a total stranger. Dad steps up to introduce me. This is my son, Choi Yuk-do. He's been missing for 5 years. Bad news though, he never awakened a system. Hante-san is floored. Surviving 5 years out there without a system, no way. He locks eyes with me, stunned. No system, so he's just an NPC, a normal human. Would be dead in 3 days out in the wasteland. Maybe with elite stats and survival perks. It's possible, but without combat skills. Once the fighting starts, he's just dead weight. Hante-san hides his doubts and forces a loud laugh. That's great news, but since you just got back, maybe sit this raid out and rest. Rest up. Dad sides with Hante-san, basically ordering me to stay grounded and play bodyguard to Mom. Mom chuckles, backing him up. Listen to your father, she teases, reminding me I haven't even had the grand tour of our own crib yet. It hits me they really see me as just some average Joe. I saw this coming. Unless you've got high-level intel, my stats read civilian to anyone scanning with the system. But stepping back, I'm flying blind here. I barely know the layout or the politics of this shelter. And if the threats out there are as nightmare fuel as I suspect, laying low is the play. Flexing my true power now would just paint a target on my parents' backs. So I play along. Fine. I nod. But take the uncles with you. Dad agrees, but the guy standing behind me, total buzzkill, written all over his face. He's practically seething inside, realizing he just missed a front row seat to the main show my skills. And he's blaming Hante-san for ruining the reveal. Dude is definitely throwing silent curses his way. Meanwhile, Dad rallies the squad, and they roll out toward the Tiger Roar Guild, looking ready to kick down doors and demand answers. Watching them fade into the distance, my gut tightens. I just got my family back. I can't shake the anxiety. The last thing I need is Dad walking into a trap. Mom catches my vibe immediately. Relax, she soothes. Your father is a beast. He sidelined you for your own safety. Just chill here with me. Truth is, I'm on the same page as her. We went through hell to finally find each other, and neither of us wants to roll the dice on safety right now. She gently pats my head, giving me that mom knows best look. Trust me, he's stronger than you think. Then she drops a bomb. She uses her prophecy skill every month just to check his status. As long as I see him alive in next month's vision, I don't stress. Okay, that's reassuring, but I gently dodge the head pats. Mom, I'm not a kid anymore. You're killing my street cred here. Still, precognition isn't bulletproof. Tiger Roar is bedfellows with the military. Down the line, Dad's gonna face way more heat from them. I turn to her, needing the lowdown. What's the actual deal with this shelter? And why is Tiger Roar beefing with us? She breaks it down. After Judgment Day hit some awakened guy, launched the Hunters Guild, and started running this place alongside the military. Then your dad built the United Guild. He partnered with the army in Shelter 6 for one reason: to find you. The United Guild blew up because Dad hit a nerve. He promised to help everyone reunite with their lost families. That loyalty is real. So our crew handles the grunt work, keeping the peace, scavenging the wilds, clearing mobs, while the military focuses on the big raids and climbing the towers. Your father has a soft heart, she adds, and he refuses to send his people into the dimensional cracks to die. That's how they survived the last 4 years, dodging the suicide missions while slowly leveling up their forces. But the vibe shifted a few months back. The Tiger Roar Guild rolled in from Shelter 4 to set up a franchise. Since then, it's been non-stop drama between Dad's crew and their goons. Petty squabbles, all-out brawls, it never ends. But something doesn't add up. If the military runs this joint, why aren't they stepping in to squash the beef between these guilds? The hard truth. The monsters out there are evolving. The military is losing its grip. But Tiger Roar was built for one thing: tower conquest. They're so OP that the military has no choice but to simp for them. The intel inside those towers is basically gold dust, and the brass can't afford to lose access. Plus, Tiger Roar has a trump card, an awakened chosen by the tower god itself. They call him an Eslar. He's the chosen one, the literal MVP of Tiger Roar, packing terrifying stats. But wait, Mom, said Tower God, that throws me for a loop. Since when are actual deities part of the lore? She explains the Tower God is the master of the spire. To us mere mortals, that entity is basically a god. If you clear their impossible trials, you ascend. You become an Eslar and get gifted divine powers. Out here in the wasteland, they call them God's messengers. Inside the tower, they're guardians. And here's the kicker, Tiger Roar is stacking these guys. They have multiple Eslars on the roster. Since each one is a one-man army, Tiger Roar just swallowed up every smaller guild nearby. Your dad's crew has the people's hearts, sure, but they haven't conquered a single tower. But here's the kicker, we're the only crew in the Alliance rolling without a healer. That's a straight-up death wish, and the vibes are bad. Still, something super sus. If everyone loves the United Guild so much, why are they acting like a full-blown crime syndicate? Mom just laughs it off, claiming it's just her personal aesthetic. Okay, suddenly everything clicks. Turns out Mom's low-key obsessed with gangster culture. The guild she built is practically dripping with that outlaw energy. She tells me to chill, saying as long as the squad is happy, who cares? Then she gently shoves me forward, ordering me to hit the showers and get some shut-eye. We can chat later. If you need someone to scrub your back, just holler. Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna let anyone do that. Major cringe. Once she bounces, I'm alone in the room, but my brain won't shut off. I activate my perception skill to track Mom's location. A massive pulse of abyssal energy ripples out from my core. My radar confirms it. Mom actually bailed. I only agreed to crash here earlier because I didn't realize how sketchy things were. But now I gotta back up, Dad, or I'll never be able to relax. I slide the window open. If I dip now, I can catch up to the old man in no time. I leap out, vanishing into the night. But back at the house, Mom catches a glimpse of my silhouette. Her expression gets complicated. Everyone told you to rest, but you never listen. Still a troublemaker, just like when you were a kid. Meanwhile, Dad is leading his crew toward the Tiger Roar Guild, radiating pure killing intent. I'm tailing them from the shadows. I take the high ground, scoping out Dad's team. Since everything outside the central zone is pitch black, spotting him is easy. But suddenly my vision blurs into double, and a wave of dizziness hits me hard. This is wrong. Ever since I got buffed by the Abyss fragment, I don't even get sick. How am I? Feeling this woozy. Then a familiar voice cuts through. Seed of the Abyss. There is no escape. I snap my head around, scanning for that hooded creep. But this guy is slippery, completely masking his presence. I can't sense a thing. Pure rage floods my system. I can't believe he actually stalked me all the way to Shelter 6. Just as I'm seeing red, the vertigo spikes again. And then, his voice echoes. I won't let you run, Seed of the Abyss. Your soul is already mine. Nothing I mark can hide from my sight. Suddenly, I see his head. Hovering right over my shoulder, I swing instantly, my fist smashing through the hooded figure's skull. But I connect with nothing. My fist phases right through him like smoke. Not his real body. The hooded freak cackles maniacally. Your soul carries my mark. You can't escape my grasp. I analyze the apparition and realize it's like a glitched code, just looping the same lines and that cursed creepy face. My shouting is starting to draw a crowd. Hey, what are you doing up there? You gonna jump? Their high-beam flashlights blind me. I bolt, leaping away and vanishing instantly. While I'm dashing through the air, I notice the creepy face is gone. I skid to a halt. Time to investigate this. If he's actually nearby, I'm in deep trouble. But here's the twist, the second I stop moving, the cloaked figure pops up again, repeating the same line. I've got a theory. Could he have vanished earlier because of those bright flashlights? I need to run an experiment. I step under a street lamp and thrust my arm into the light. My calculations say, stay in the dark for 7 seconds, and the soul mark triggers. Or if I lose my cool, the mark might activate too. Seriously, what a pain. To test it, I cover the soul mark with my other hand, plunging it into darkness for 7 seconds. Boom, called it. The cursed head reappears. But this time, I mirror his creepy expression and mimic his lines perfectly. Your soul is marked, you can't escape. Seed of the Abyss. A random pedestrian sees this and calls me a crazy edgelord kid. Guess I'm the only one who can see this ugly face. As I step back into the light, a piercing noise starts screaming in my brain. After a minute, the mark fades out. That creepy severed head is gone. He definitely branded my soul with that touch. Back at the crib, the lights were blazing, so I never clocked it earlier. But my hunch is solid. I've never dealt with this kind of voodoo before. It has to work like that. Still, it's stressing me out. How do I shake this ghost off my back? That hooded creep likely tagged me so he can track my location whenever he wants. Means he could jump me at any second. I can't let my guard down, not even for a blink. The guy is a walking red flag. Priority 1, I need to locate Dad immediately. As for this ugly mug haunting me, I'll ignore it. Step into the light, and it vanishes. Theory confirmed. Darkness triggers it, light kills it. But if Mom's right and the military dropped the United Guild, Dad is walking into a death trap. Suddenly, I remember that monk I ran into during the day. I don't know how many heavy hitters are hiding in the shelter, but if the Tiger Roar Guild teamed up with the army, they aren't just chilling. They're plotting a full wipeout of the United Guild. If that's the play, I'll body every single one of them to keep mom and dad safe. Anyone threatening us gets deleted. Still, the thought makes me look grim. I'd give anything to rewind to the boring, peaceful days when we were just a normal family. Day by day, finally pulling up on Dad's location. They're posted right outside the Tiger Roar HQ. I don't join in though. I slide behind a concrete pillar, keeping it stealth. Gotta see how the old man handles diplomacy with these goons. Violence is the final option. That was the golden rule Dad drilled into me. Back then, I only half listened, mostly because I was a kid who couldn't throw a punch. Now I'm wondering if he's actually gonna throw down. If he does, I'm jumping in. Suddenly, the crowd gets rowdy. Looks like the talks are starting. I peek out. Two guild dudes in the front are grinning like idiots, barely holding back their excitement. Then I see Dad, hand hovering over his weapon. The pressure dropping off him is insane. Whispers start flying among the crew about the time Dad carved a 60-foot scar into an enemy. Dad speaks up and his eyes are pure murder. Park Tae-jun, I'm at your front door. You too scared to come out and say hello. Shing. The blade clears the scabbard in a blur. The second that steel is exposed, a terrifying wave of power washes over the street. High-pitched, screaming steel rips through the air, launching a sonic boom straight at the HQ. Following the sound is a massive arc of sword energy. A split second later, boom, debris everywhere. The entire skyscraper is sliced clean in half. At this moment, Dad's warm family man face is gone. Nothing left but endless killing, intent, and dominance. Han Tae-san watches, stone-faced, while the minions behind him absolutely lose their minds with hype. My jaw hits the floor. Mom wasn't lying. Dad is actually a monster. Guess I didn't need to stress about him. Slowly, he slides the sword back into its sheath. The top half of the building starts sliding off the diagonal cut. Dad speaks calm but deadly. Been a while since I flexed. Y'all thought we were washed up. Bold move bullying my crew like that. I nudge one of Dad's lackeys standing nearby. Yo, is he always this intense? The guy looks at Dad like he's a god. You serious? The boss is famous for throwing the first punch. That throws me off. Wait, doesn't he preach that violence is the last resort? The grunt nods like, yeah, he gave us that speech too. But that was his old philosophy. Back when he actually trusted the military to do their job. Times changed. What happened next was wild. Every time our guys stepped into army territory, it was instant beef. Non-stop conflicts. Constant battles totally rewired the boss's brain. His new motto, violence isn't the answer, it's the solution. It's just faster. If you can't win the brawl, talking is a waste of breath. Punch first, ask questions, never. That's the boss's new code, and we ride or die with it. But listening to the scouts report, I'm starting to think Pops is moving a little too reckless. Take that monk guy, real power usually moves in silence, right? So why is Dad sprinting headfirst into every dumpster fire instead of playing it cool? Watching his back as he marches forward, maybe I got it twisted. When you're built different like Dad, you don't need stealth, you just dominate the server. Or maybe that monk just played me like a fiddle. Could be, he's secretly an absolute monster, just waiting to flex. Man, I still don't know how this world works. Cut to a silhouette perched on a rooftop nearby. He's watching choppers haul off a massive monster carcass like it's trash day. The monk rips off his blindfold. Green flare. His auspicious eye ability kicks in. He's scanning a level 90 boss that got absolutely obliterated. 0 burn marks, just brute force. Yeah, that's the beast I took down earlier. He covers up, exhaling a heavy sigh. This server is crawling with monsters in human skin. It's genuinely terrifying. Note to self, stay paranoid, stay alive. Meanwhile, back at the scene, smoke is still curling off the stronghold, Dad sliced open. The squad is posted up, waiting for the Tiger Roar guild leader. Finally, the doors open. The guy leading the pack comes out swinging, verbal haymakers calling Dad every name in the book. He screams, "You think this is the old days when we first built this shelter? Wake up." That strikes a nerve. Dad's face darkens with ugly memories. "Oh, things changed all right," he snaps. "Mostly cause roaches like you started crawling out of the woodwork." The second he finishes, Dad's blade twitches upwards. "I should have ended you back then. Saved myself the headache." The guy just laughs off the threat. "So do it, or are you too scared? That's the trigger." Veins pop on Dad's forehead. "You think I won't drop you right here, Schwing?" Dad's blade clears the scabbard. Energy crackles along the steel. Park Tae-hyun is physically shaking. He knows Dad could one-shot him instantly. His heart is hammering against his ribs. "I pushed him too far. You guys need to dip now." Wait, is he not mad enough? Park Tae-hyun swallows his fear and doubles down on the disrespect. "Look at you, coward. Can't even swing your sword right. Come on, hit me. Let's see if you have the guts." Park is spiraling now. "A weakling like you isn't fit to lace the Tiger Roar Guild's boots." That did it. Dad snaps. He grips the hilt, rushing Park Tae-hyun like a freight train. But right before impact, Park pops his ultimate, a divine shield that tanks the hit dead on. In that split second, a shadowy figure and Park share the exact same thought, hook, line, and sinker. Suddenly, a dude steps out from the shadows, Freeze, it's a level 63 assassin. He barks, you got some nerve. Starting a war inside the safe zone, the guild members are shook. Is that a military officer? Why are the feds here? Are they siding with Tiger Roar? I clocked the level 63 assassin. He's definitely military backing the enemy, and this ain't no accident. I glance up at the building. My gut tells me that place is packed with campers waiting for a signal. Pops is in deep trouble. This guy didn't just wander in. This is a scripted event. A trap laid out way in advance. Just waiting for Dad to step on the landmine. The fight halts instantly. Total standoff. Dad knows he got played. But the real twist, he never thought the military would dump the United Guild to get in bed with Tiger Roar. That killer's smirk, it's practically glued to his face. According to Article 15 of the Shelter Safety Act, throwing hands inside the safe zone is a strict no-go. Violators are looking at 15 days in the slammer minimum. If things get ugly, you could be facing execution. So, are you gonna follow orders now? Dad reads the room instantly. So that's the playbook. First, bait him into a fight, then use the law to slap cuffs on him the second he pushes back. It's a high-level setup happening right out in the open. Watching that assassin's stone-cold poker face, Dad's honestly shook. Is this guy seriously not worried about his corruption leaking? The audacity is actually impressive. He's framing him in 4K absolutely shameless. Dad knows once he's behind bars, they can stretch that sentence until the end of time, or just make him vanish in some unfortunate accident. Getting captured is absolutely not an option. The second he's gone, the Tiger Roar Guild will swipe his turf and assets like free loot while he rots in a cell. Even his wife and kid would be caught in the crossfire. But why is the military working so hard to flip the board? Is there a civil war brewing inside the army ranks? If that's true, we're talking nightmare fuel. Even if Dad doesn't have the full picture yet, he knows the winning move. Deny everything. After a split second of processing, Dad busts out laughing right in the assassin's face. Yo, I think you got it twisted. We don't have beef. Zero conflict here. As a loyal supporter of the United Guild, I can't cop to crimes without receipts. Officer, you feel me? The officer cracks up. Oh, you want receipts? All right, let me show you exactly what I got. See that sword gash on the wall up there? You carved that masterpiece just a second ago. That's your smoking gun. Dad goes into full gaslight mode. You gotta be joking, officer. How does that possibly count as hard evidence? Dad starts arguing frantically. That mark, I was just stress testing the building's structural integrity. If this place is a hazard, I gotta ping my buddy to fix it as soon as possible. The officer steps up, getting right in Dad's personal space, voice dropping to sub-zero. You're still not getting the picture. You don't run this show, I do. If I say it's evidence, it's evidence. Today you started a riot with another guild inside the shelter. Don't like it? Go ahead and file a complaint against me. Right on cue, over 100 hunters materialize inside the building, locking weapons on the squad. The assassin flashes a victory grin. Game over. You lost the second you walked through those doors. Be a good boy and surrender, or I tell my squad to turn you into Swiss cheese. Alarm bells scream in Dad's head. He can tank the damage, but his crew, they won't survive that kind of firepower. The squad behind Dad is freaking out. You dirty scumbags. You actually designed a trap to wipe us out. They beg Dad not to fold. Worst case, we die. We gotta fight these clowns to the bitter end. Dad's expression goes dead serious. He knows he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. This whole mess is clearly military orchestrated. The guild members backing him are ready to go down swinging, but Dad signals them to chill. Hold your fire. We're in the blast radius too. The level 63 assassin sneers. You want to gamble your brother's lives against me? I don't mind high stakes, but can you afford the buy-in? Shing Dad unsheathes his blade. He can't hold back the rage anymore. But facing a level 63 killer, even Dad feels the heat. He locks eyes on Park Tae-jun. If I snatch him as a hostage, we might survive this. Dad draws steel with lightning speed. The assassin and Park Tae-jun snap to high alert instantly. He's making his move. Park Tae-jun instantly procs his sword shield. He refuses to be the weak link. An agent's defensive kit is built different. It lets him analyze incoming aggro data in real time. Park figures at this range. Blocking Dad's attack is totally doable. Park Tae-hyun deploys a specialized sword shield defense designed explicitly to counter blade types. It's niche, but against swords it punches way above its weight class. Park Tae-hyun already stress-tested this shield and confirmed it can tank a full-force crit from a level 69 warrior, so he figures Dad capping out at level 65 is barely a blip on his radar, zero threat detected. In his head, he's already playing the highlight reel, Dad's blade shattering against his defense like glass. Park Tae-jun bellows, you got the skills, then smash this shield. Meanwhile, the military keeps turning up the heat. Choi Jin-han, submit now, or rot in a cell with your whole crew. Your call. Choi Jin-han's face goes dark. It's do or die time. Behind him, Han Tae-san is silently screaming for Dad to hold the line. Even if it ends in blood and death, surrendering isn't an option. But inside, Choi Jin-han is torn. He refuses to drag his brothers down with him. His grip tightens, then freezes on his sword hilt. Choice made. He unclips his weapon and hands it over. To everyone watching, it looks like he's throwing in the towel. Hante-san is shook. He never thought the boss would fold like that. The military guys, though, they're smirking, like they just won the lottery. Glad you finally smartened up. Every member of the guild is fuming, watching the military roast them right to their faces. Who wouldn't be pissed? But low-key Hante-san is already locked and loaded for war. See, he and Choi Jin-han have a code. Raising the blade, that means stand by. Dropping it, that's the kill switch. Instantly, Hante-san erupts with a terrifying aura. Magic surges through his veins like high-voltage current. Nobody realizes he and Choi Jin-han cooked up this play so their guard is totally down. With a surprise blitz, they can take out the big bad. Right on cue, Dad tosses the sword. Straight at the dirt. Game on. Park Tae-jun flinches, confused. He can't process why Choi Jin-han unarmed himself. But there's zero time to think, because Choi Jin-han is already barreling toward him like a freight train. Panicked Park instantly maxes out his shield's energy output. With that barrier up, Park Tae-jun's heartbeat finally slows down. That shield is enchanted to nullify blade strikes, it's impenetrable. Then Choi Jin-han flicks his wrist. Boom! The phantom sword materializes in his grip. Since you're so confident that toy of yours can stop me, let's put it to the test. Park Tae-jun doesn't even blink. This thing tanks, hits from level 69s. What makes you think you've got a shot? But right then, Hante-san makes his move from the backline, unleashing all that stored up mana. He seizes control of the rubble, levitating the debris into the air. The goal, coat, the sword's tip in stone. They've cracked the code on Park Tae-jun's defense mechanism. That barrier only repels sharp blades. Immediately, Choi Jin-han swings with blinding speed, smashing right through Park Tae-jun's guard. The impact hits like a sledgehammer, shattering the shield and rattling his internal organs violently. Huge miscalculation. That wasn't a slice, it was a bludgeon. Against blunt force, even the toughest blade shield is useless. Dad doesn't let up, instantly transitioning to land a combo of fatal strikes. A soldier nearby cackles. I see what you're doing. He spins around, flinging a dagger straight at Dad. I can hit you, but you can't touch me. Lay a finger on me, and it's over. But there's no way Hante-san is letting that slide. He clenches his fist, triggering a long-range defense for Dad. A stone web erupts from the earth, instantly locking down the assassin's arm mid-strike. The assassin is totally neutralized, pinned by the floating rocks. Meanwhile, Park Tae-jun is losing his mind. He thinks Choi Jin-han has gone full psycho. He screams for his squad to open fire. No mercy. The soldiers acknowledge the order and hold down their triggers. A hail of bullets spews from the barrels, but simultaneously Hante-san makes another play. He snaps two fingers upward. Trying to hurt my boss while I'm standing right here, in a heartbeat. A massive stone wall rises, cutting off Park Tae-jun's escape route and tanking the gunfire. Basically, Hante-san just used that wall to isolate the target and serve him up on a silver platter for Choi Jin-han. Choi Jin-han's adrenaline is peaking right now. He's pulled off a solo blitz. All he needs to do is snag Park Tae-jun and use him as a human shield. That leverage would let his squad retreat safely. But right as Jin-han's fingers brush the target, Park Tae-jun flickers out of existence like a glitch. Shadow style, making Dad clutch nothing but empty air. Jin-han is totally shook. He's never seen a skill defy physics like that. The officer cackles like a villain. You like that? Your buddy's stone cage trap backfired. I tagged him with residual magic the second his shield cracked. Gotcha. He just unlocked the assassin ult shadow trace. For the anime fans out there, think of it like the flying thunder god technique. Yellow flash style. Now that your leverage is gone, you gonna fold. The officer smirks, waving his hand dramatically. All units swarm him, take Choi Jin-han down. Jin-han is caught flat-footed. This sudden reversal could mean total game over for him. But look at Hante-san. The guy isn't just scared, he's paralyzed with pure terror. He can't compute why that person is here. His eyes are wide, filled with disbelief. Even the grunts are freezing up. The assassin officer is confused. He can't read the room. What's the holdup? Why aren't you attacking? Then I drop the base. You just ordered a hit on who exactly, my old man? My voice is dripping with enough killing intent to freeze hell. The assassin stiffens, panic rising in his gut. His internal monologue is screaming. How did someone flank him without a sound? Another high-tier assassin. He locks eyes with me. He doesn't know the name, but he recognizes the threat level. He decides to sucker punch me before I can blink. I have to use that. He goes for the nuclear option, reaching for a flask at his waist. Park Tae-jun clocks it immediately. That's the god-tier poison. Stuff meant to melt level 90 raid bosses. That snake must have swiped it from our loot stash. The assassin flares his aura, breaking my pressure lock with a burst of speed. I let the abyss energy coil around me, cranking my bloodlust to the max. He's fast, blur motion fast. He spins, whipping 3 daggers straight at my kill spots. Dad loses it. Yokdu, get out of there, run. Park Tae-jun is mentally screaming curses at the officer. That idiot is going to wipe the whole map. Nobody survives this toxin cloud, not even the caster. The poison is already hissing into the air, expanding everywhere. In a split second, 4 or 5 soldiers drop dead. Park Tae-jun didn't sign up for a suicide pact, especially not by friendly fire. He needs to bail from the kill zone instantly. But before he can twitch, a massive hand clamps down. I snatch both of them, dangling them like helpless baby chicks, locking them in place. Park Tae-jun's brain short circuits. He's staring at me in shock. He's still moving. That fog kills level 90 bosses. Even the assassin looks like he's seen a ghost. If a player shrugs off this venom, they aren't human. They're a monster with stats that break the game. Both of them realize the truth simultaneously. They messed with the wrong guy today. Oh, and that dagger attack. I caught it. With my teeth. I spit the hilts onto the ground. Clang. You actually thought that cheap trick would flatline me. Pathetic. Don't move, I growl, or I send you straight to the afterlife to meet the devil. We are ending this now. Park Tae-jun is reeling. Every player has 5 stats. Int, strength, agility. To tank that poison, my constitution must be level 100 plus. I bark the order, tell your goons to drop the steel. Now, this officer isn't hearing a word I say. He drops back, snatching my leg in a desperate takedown attempt. Suddenly, he launches himself airborne, locking down my right arm. He screams at Park Tae-hyung to strike now. Park Tae-hyung's lips curl into a twisted smirk. He sees a golden ticket right in front of him. He starts winding up for a massive sucker punch while I'm tangled in this armbar. But to my eyes, he's moving at a snail's pace. I unleash a burst of rage and send both of them flying. 2 blurry figures zip right past Dad. With a deafening boom, their bodies smash into the wall behind him. The impact is massive, kicking up a thick cloud of dust. That hit nearly knocked them into a coma. Dad's jaw is practically on the floor. Did my son just instantly body 2 high-level experts? Suddenly, the assassin's form starts fading away. I huff. Cheap parlor tricks. Useless. You really think that works on a pro? He triggers Shadow Shield and materializes. Dead center behind my back. He thinks I can't dodge this. Thwack. He drives the blade right into my ribs. But here's the twist. The steel stops dead. Couldn't even scratch the skin. The assassin's eyes go wide. How is this even possible? But what shocks him next is even better. His blade is stuck fast. He yanks and pulls, but it won't budge. I spin around and throw a heavy punch. As he scrambles back, I snatch the dagger right out of his grip. A drip of blood hits the floor. His nose just burst. My fist didn't even touch him. The wind pressure alone tore him up. Panic sets in. He wants to run. Too bad I'm not feeling generous. The second he tries to flee, I blink right in front of him, staring him down. No time for chit-chat. I slap a hand on his skull and shove. Hard. One thought screams in the assassin's mind. This guy's speed is off the charts. Assassin handled. I slowly stand back up. Crisis averted. Time to head back. Han Tae-san and his goons are frozen stiff, completely tongue-tied. Every step I take, the soldiers flinch backward. Their commanding officer is at my mercy, but they're too terrified to demand him back. One soldier starts to step up, but his buddies behind him frantically shake their heads, signaling, "Don't be an idiot, we'll all die." Without looking back, I call out to Dad. "I'm leaving the other guy to you. Let's wrap this up and get home." Dad's mouth twitches. Thank God his son showed up today. Otherwise, they would have been toast. The next day, we're back at the house. Dad pushes through the door. Looks like the interrogation is done. Tough luck, Dad didn't get a single word out of them. But honestly, it doesn't matter. We know exactly where the Tiger Roar Guild stands now. We need to stay high alert for the next few days. But something else is eating at Dad even more than the guild schemes. "Son, talk to us. What happened?" The 3 of them are dying to know what I went through. These past 5 years, to get this OP in such a short time, they can't wrap their heads around it. After seeing the mess Dad is in, I realize I can't keep them in the dark anymore. It's time to come clean. I sit them down and spill everything. 5 years ago, I fell into a hellhole called the Abyss. I spent every waking second hunting monsters. Must have gotten snagged by a tower dungeon. I lay it all out, including the part where I spent 500 years inside, until finally, a summoner yanked me back to Earth. Dad rubs his chin deep in thought. This insane story is hard to swallow. There are 16 towers in total, but none of them match what you're describing. Sounds like you found an undocumented tower, and had the worst luck imaginable falling into it. Han Tae-san pipes up. If that tower is near Shelter 6, we can make clearing it a priority. Dad lets out a heavy emotional sigh. "Son, I'm just glad you made it back in one piece. Leave the rest to me." Hearing this, Han Tae-san cracks up laughing. "Glad he's back. Your kid came back a million times stronger than the rest of us combined. You're just relieved." Man, if I were you, I'd be waking up laughing every single night. Mom grips my hand, her face twisted in pure agony. She doesn't care about the past or the scars. All that matters to her is that I made it back in one piece. Seeing me back ignites a fire in Dad's chest. He refuses to let this family fall apart a second time. He is ready to move mountains just to keep this home safe. I glance down and freeze. Mom's hands. They're covered in rough scars. Dad's are the same. Looks like I'm not the only one wearing battle wounds in this house. I make a silent vow right there. I'm never leaving them again. I'll burn everything down if I have to, just to restore this family to what it was. Suddenly, the room plunges into darkness. The overhead lights are dead. My pulse spikes. This isn't random. I know exactly who's crashing the party. Dad and Sam are looking around clueless. Power outage, they're probably thinking. Right on cue. The air shifts and that cloaked creep materializes right next to me. This guy is getting seriously annoying. He starts reciting his usual villain lines like a broken record. There is no escape, seed of the abyss. But wait, something's off. The vibe is different this time. He's going off script. Found you, he whispers. And the creepiest part, Mom is looking right through him. She's staring at the dead light bulb, completely oblivious to the monster standing inches away. The hooded man's eyes snap open. Then poof, he vanishes from my side. It wasn't a fade out. He physically moved. Before I can blink, I feel his presence looming right behind me. Long time no see, seed of the abyss. Oh, now things are getting spicy. He's actually conscious this time. But is he real, or is this just another mind game? I try to sense his energy. Nothing. He hasn't manifested physically yet. Has to be an illusion. I'll deal with this hallucination after I sort out my family drama. Suddenly, he reaches out. Ignoring me. You really think I'm just a figment of your imagination? Humans love lying to themselves. Before I can react, his cold hands clamp over my eyes. Time to pay for your arrogance. He pulls away and my vision goes pitch black. Literal fog is swirling in my sockets. Thick black smoke pours out of my eyes, engulfing my entire body. I'm blind. Okay, definitely not an illusion. My family is freaking out. Mom screams, "What's happening to you?" They see the smoke coiling around me. Dad realizes this isn't a power outage. "Your eyes," he yells. "They're gone. It's just black smoke." Mom doesn't hesitate. She casts Purify instantly, trying to scrub this darkness off me. But it bounces off. A system window pops up in her face. Target is not cursed. Skill failed. She's panicking. It's not magic. It's something worse. Damn it, I got cocky. I let my guard down and now I'm fighting blind. But I don't need eyes to see. My perception is still sharp. I lock onto him. No way am I letting him touch my parents. I snap into action. I lunge forward and crush the hooded man's windpipe. My family gasps. To them, I'm choking thin air, but the villain just cackles. Scared, if you've got the guts, then finish it. Dad is losing his mind, terrified and confused. Son, is there someone there? We can't see anything. Mom is just as lost. I ignore them. My focus is entirely on the unseen monster. I'm ready to kill. Why are you haunting me, you coward? That word hits a nerve. He starts chuckling. Hysterical laughter echoes in my head. Coward, please. I just haven't introduced myself properly. I am Fordell of the noble Aesir clan, the god of darkness. And he's here because of that black crystal I absorbed back in the abyss. Turns out that wasn't just a rock. It was divine power left behind by the Aesir gods. I basically stole a piece of his darkness domain. While I was down there, his little messengers were watching my every move. And now that I escaped without permission, the hunt is on. He demands I return to the abyss with him. Right now. Listening to his spiel, it clicks these so-called divine messengers. They're definitely the Eslar that Mom warned us about. Dad's not taking any chances. His hand is already hovering over his hilt, ready to draw blood. He doesn't understand the full context, but his gut is screaming that this hooded figure is bad news. My instinct, kill him. But Mom signals him to stand down. Let's watch first. A cold mocking smirk creeps onto my face. You call yourself a god, yet I already crushed you. What gives you the right to order me back? Don't think your cheap parlor tricks scare me. Push me too far. And whether it's messengers or gods, I'll slaughter every last one of you. That struck a nerve. The hooded creep snaps. Don't get cocky. Just because you got lucky once. The other Eslar are in a completely different league. You have no idea what you're up against. They could strip your power without breaking a sweat. Okay, that threw me. I didn't expect Mr. Arrogance to admit. He's weaker than the rest. But why trust a liar? Suddenly, the hooded figure bursts into manic laughter. Don't say I didn't warn you. Everything I'm doing is for your own good. But you ignorant peasant, you still don't get it, do you? When the rain of blood starts pouring over this land, you'll regret everything. He's planting seeds of doubt. I have zero reason to trust him, yet listening to him might be my only play. I'm stuck. Even now, I'm second-guessing my own strength. Can I actually take down the Eslar? Suddenly, a noise from outside breaks the tension. Someone's making an entrance. But before we see a face, a voice booms out. A deep incantation vibrates through the room, riding on waves of golden light. Next second, a terrifying energy blasts in from the hallway, locking onto the hooded figure like a spotlight, making him scream in pure agony. At the same time, that mental fog clouding my vision starts to lift. The hooded guy is frozen, pinned down by some invisible binding force. He struggles, trying every trick in the book, but he's stuck. The newcomer speaks slowly. What he said is true. I believe you. Dad lights up when he sees who it is. Shu Xianzi, how did you find us? Meanwhile, as that golden light washes over me, my sight snaps back into focus. I look up, and no way. It's the monk from the shelter entrance. I knew it. Guy's a hidden master. I glance back at my dad. You know him, Dad nods. Know him. We go way back. We founded the United Guild together. But he wouldn't be here unless it was critical. Something's up. Dad steps forward, demanding answers. I'll explain later, Shu Xianzi cuts in. First, I need a word. With your son. 2.5 hours fly by. Once the room clears out, I press Shu Xianzi. All right, spill it. What's this emergency you mentioned? Shu Xianzi taps his own eyes. I'm no Eslar, but these eyes, they perceive divine energy. That's how I use the forbidden arts to seal that God, the hooded freak. Also, even though my power feels similar to his, the force behind it surpasses any deity. Doesn't matter how I got it, we're out of time. Multiple God-tier signals are converging on this location. We need a plan now. They're coming because they want what I have. Look, I don't know your history with that deity, but he wasn't lying. But you can't return to the abyss. The thing lurking in that tower, it's a nightmare compared to the Eslar. That hooded guy, he's trying to bait you back, just to harvest your divine power. You need to leave. Join the military. Shu Xianzi's suggestion disgusts me. The military? You mean the guys who tried to nuke me off the map? Shu Xianzi chuckles. Sure, the current leadership is messy, but there's one man, among them, worth trusting. Once you're officially enlisted, the Eslar won't touch you so easily. But forget the army for a second. If I leave, who protects my parents? He stays calm. The Eslar have a code. They don't target ordinary civilians. It's because of this rule that the alliance still stands. Suddenly, Shu Xianzi flares his aura. Countless specks of light drift from his body. Besides, as long as I'm here, they won't make a move. The Litan tribe is seriously OP. Their power rivals the S-class elites, provided they keep their cool and don't get reckless. Nobody would dare lay a finger on your parents or anyone else on this turf. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to a darker setting. Deep inside the war room of the Tiger Roar Guild, the atmosphere is heavy as the top brass convenes. The vibe is pure disgust. What a joke. Dragging all 4 of us out here for a mission to hunt some nobody who doesn't even have a system. Intel tags that white-haired brat as Choi Jin-han's long-lost son. He probably just got lucky and cleared a tower. Honestly, sending Fei Long alone would have been overkill for trash like that. Assemble the full squad, unnecessary. Fei Long snaps back, clearly ticked off. And why get me stuck with the cleanup duty? If you're so amazing, you handle it. Tension spikes, but before fists fly, a hand lands firmly on Fei Long's shoulder. The blue-haired woman shakes her head silently, signaling him to zip it and fall in line with the boss's orders. That's Athena, another S-class heavy hitter. Suddenly, the man seated at the head of the table breaks his silence. I'm joining this hunt personally. Jaws drop around the table. The guildmaster is making a move. This comes directly from Zeus, he declares. The order is absolute. Liquidate the kid, Yogdu, plus Tower 16 near Shelter 6 is about to go live. That's the prize for controlling a tower. But the stubborn alliance rejected our offer and thinks they can run their own show. So tonight we wipe the slate clean. Not just Yogdu, but his parents, the founders of the alliance, die too. Infinite murderous intent floods the room, radiating from the boss's eyes. Nobody defies an order from Zeus. We will execute this flawlessly. Do I make myself clear? This is Licht, the guildmaster of Tiger Roar. He is level 118, the vessel of Zeus's divine power. Meanwhile, back at our base, we've locked in our own strategy. Shi Xianji takes charge. Go find Park Sujin. You need to take command from her position. She's an old contact of mine. She'll watch your back, so head over there without worrying. And listen, if hell breaks loose, keep your eyes peeled for that curse master. Once his curse formation triggers, not even the Tiger Roar Guild can touch us. Mom flashes a reassuring smile. The Alliance has this place locked down. Go. Your father and I are powerhouses, remember. We'll be fine. I nod, trying to buy it. But there's this gnawing pit in my stomach. It's probably just separation anxiety. I finally got my parents back, and now I have to bail. 15 minutes later, Shi Xianji sits like a statue at the main gate, waiting for the inevitable. Suddenly, the fallen leaves skitter across the ground, yet there's zero wind. It's bone-chilling. The calm before the storm shatters. Shi Xianji's instincts scream danger instantly. An overwhelming divine pressure mixed with bloodlust floods the courtyard. They're here. A wave of pitch-black divine energy blasts through the entrance. Through the gloom, 4 silhouettes emerge at the gate. The aura rolling off them is suffocating. Every single one is S-class. A ferocious attack launches from the shadows, but Shi Xianji doesn't flinch. He slams a palm into the ground, boom, golden bell barrier deployed. The black fog smashes into the shield and ricochets off harmlessly. Not a scratch. Behind the barrier, my parents and Han Tae-san are stunned by the sheer pressure. The four S-class invaders step forward. Their gaze is dripping with murder. Shi Xianji feels a cold sweat. He never thought Tiger Roar would go this hard. Dispatching a full squad of 4 S-rankers. Insane. But that's not the worst part. Looming behind them, another silhouette emerges from the shadows. The atmosphere shifts instantly. Every single person drops into a respectful bow. You can practically feel the weight of his authority in the room. The man commanding this level of reverence, it's none other than Lich, the big boss of Tiger Roar and the undisputed strongest hunter in the world. Shuqian-si feels a chill run down his spine. If Lich himself showed up, this isn't a social call. It's a death sentence waiting to happen. Lich barely nods, signaling Baigui to start the show. A split second later, Baigui sweeps his hand wide, unleashing a wave of pitch-black energy. Dark aura floods the room, leaving the crowd completely shook. But it doesn't just sit there. The black mist begins to twist and morph. It forms into nightmarish demon faces, shrieking straight toward Dad. His gut instinct screams danger. The enemy isn't just attacking, they're scanning. That spectral energy exposes every single Alliance member instantly. Even the stealth units hiding in the shadows. Busted. Zero cover left. With a scan, that perfect running isn't an option. Dad flips on his own detection eye to assess the threat, but what he sees leaves him absolutely floored. Every single enemy is sitting comfortably above level 100. Meanwhile, our squad is scraping by with combat levels between 60 and 75. It's not even a competition. The power gap here is absolutely massive. We're talking game over kind of difference. One wrong move and it's a total massacre. Shuqian-si tries to play it cool, speaking slowly. It's pretty late, guys. What brings the whole circus to our doorstep? Baigui ignores the question and glances at his boss. Spectral scan confirms it. The target isn't in the building. Lich steps forward, eyes cold. Cut the act. Tell me where he is. But Shuqian-si keeps the poker face strong. What do you mean? You barge in here asking about him out of nowhere. I honestly have zero clue who you're talking about. That sets Fei Long off. The guy has a fuse shorter than a matchstick. His lip curls in disgust. You bald fraud. Spill it now, or everyone here dies screaming. I suggest you stop wasting my time. Fei Long's outburst finally cracks Shuqian-si's calm facade. Seems like someone skipped their manners class. Let me teach you a lesson. That's exactly what Fei Long wanted to hear. Perfect. I've always hated you, self-righteous monks acting so high and mighty. Today I'm gonna see just how you plan to discipline me. While they trash talk, Mom has already made her move in the background. Gone is the gentle vibe. Mom looks terrifying. Her eyes are locked in, radiating pure killing intent. She triggers her barrier, and boom, a massive cloud of greenish-black smoke swallows every single enemy in the room. This is Mom's signature move, a curse layering technique designed to cripple opponents from the inside out. It's supposed to drain them, but these guys, they don't even flinch. They just check their status windows like it's a minor inconvenience. Fei Long snaps. He can't stand looking at the monk for another second. You dirty rats actually throwing curses at us. In the blink of an eye, Fei Long closes the gap, appearing right in the monk's face. He flashes a cocky, savage grin. Even cursed by trash like you, I can solo your entire pathetic alliance. But here comes the twist. Shuqian-si doesn't dodge. He snaps his palm open and catches Fei Long's punch dead in its tracks. Fei Long freezes, eyes popping out in total disbelief. Shuqian-si just smirks, calm as ever. You clearly don't know who you're messing with. Let me give you a crash course on the Alliance's power. That's when Fei Long realizes something horrifying. His level just tanked from 100 all the way down to 70. A massive 30-level drop. Shuqian-si lets out a cold chuckle. Losing a few levels isn't a big deal, right? Before Fei Long can react, the monk drives his palm hard into Fei Long's collarbone. Impact Fei Long gets launched across the room like a rag doll. He didn't even get a chance to swing back. And it's not just him. Every single member of the Tiger Roar Guild catches the same nerf. They all drop 30 levels instantly. That's the terrifying reality of Mom's curse zone. Once you step inside, your stats get slashed. Specifically, it cuts you down by 50% of the caster's level. Let's see you try to bully us now that the playing field is leveled. But Lich, he doesn't look worried at all. In fact, he starts laughing a low, creepy sound. His face twists into pure arrogance. Finally, things are getting interesting. He points a finger over his shoulder at Athena. You're up. Showtime. On command, Athena raises her hand, mana swirling violently around her palm. Streams of magical energy condense, ready to burst. This is it. Total war is about to break out. Lich is betting on one thing. He wants to see if Yugdu will come running back once he hears his friends are being slaughtered. Suddenly, a wave of dust blinds everyone, and a teleportation circle flares up beneath Dad and Shuqian-si. They blink, and the scenery changes completely. They've been warped straight to the Tania arena. It's a dimension built specifically for death matches. Shuqiansi is stunned. This kind of power is insane. This just went from bad to absolute nightmare fuel. Meanwhile, back at the guild base, Lich stands amidst the chaos, grinning. It's been a long time since I found something this fun. It's a total stalemate. My heart is pounding out of my chest, just waiting for Yukdu to step right into the trap. Yeah, definitely not a dull moment here. Meanwhile, the rest of the United Guild is losing it, screaming their lungs out at the Lich. You freak! What the hell did you do to our boss? Next up, the Lich is plotting to wipe out the stragglers. It's showtime. Cutting to the other side, I've finally locked onto Park Sujin's coordinates. I dive from the sky and stick a superhero landing right in front of them. Totally shook them to the core. Park Sujin looks absolutely floored. Like, why is this random hunter crashing the party? Dust settles and I whip out the photo, double-checking it against the blonde standing there. It's a match that's definitely Park Sujin. I throw my hands up fast, showing I'm chill. Alliance sent me. I'm here for military protection. Park Sujin signals her squad to stand down and lower the hardware. Threat level 0. She's already run a background check on me. You're Choi Yuk-do, right? The guy who ghosted for 5 years and just made a grand comeback. But you can tell she's got a burning question she's dying to ask. Back at the arena, the main event kicks off. Athena slams her staff into the ground. She summons the higher powers. Rise up and judge this fight. The staff starts glowing wild. A crimson beam shoots straight up, morphing into a humanoid shape in the sky. An angel descends. Dad is totally rattled. Is this legit god-tier power? The vibes are getting dark. A blue force field expands right under the angel. Inside that barrier is the kill zone. It's a 5 versus 5 team battle. First to bag 3 wins gets the Olympus buff. The losing team gets roasted alive by holy fire. Fei Long is glaring at us like he wants blood. You guys are cooked. Just wait for the flames. Mom is panicking. The power gap between the teams is basically unfair. Plus, it's all happening way too fast. Her future sight is totally blind now. Dad looks confused doing a head count. Why do we only have 8 people? Athena tells him to chill. The 5 warriors will definitely show up. As for the missing 2, they're en route. No way they're skipping this. They're the main characters of this arc. Fei Long is literally itching to throw hands. Who wants to get deleted first? I'm game. Everyone gets the system notification. The final boss fight begins now. Dad eyes Fei Long. This brat needs a lesson. I'll handle him. But Susanoo steps right in his path to block him. This mess is on me. I gotta take responsibility and clutch this win. Dad pats his shoulder. Don't sweat it. Crazy stuff happens. It was out of your hands. Just stick by me, that's enough. It's not your fault. My wife's curse nerfed everyone's levels anyway. But we've still got a shot in the one-on-ones. Let me take this match. Even Hestia nods along. She's definitely not built for the front lines. We just need 3 wins. I trust the boss's strength. He'll crush the guy. But Susanoo just lets out a dry laugh. You probably don't realize, but Fei Long isn't some basic NPC. He looks up, eyes dead serious. He's the most savage monster in their guild. Tiger Roar. Punching above his weight class is basically a hobby for him. As a god's messenger, he soloed an entire guild with 3 S ranks. And he barely took a scratch. So yeah, I better handle this fight. Stepping onto the blood-soaked battlefield, he doesn't even glance back. He's radiating main character energy, basically telling the squad, I got this first round in the bag. Failure isn't even in his vocabulary right now. The second his foot hits the dirt, he's cool as a cucumber, 0 nerves, pure focus. And just like that, the opening match of this death tournament is about to go down. We are talking about the absolute heavy hitters from both factions here. Shixian's gaze turns razor sharp. He is locked in. Come at me. Don't you dare bore me. He is intentionally poking the bear, trying to tilt his opponent. He knows that if he can make the guy lose his cool, his win rate skyrockets. And exactly as Shixian calculated, the trash talk hits the mark. Fei Long snaps instantly, screaming, You cocky little brat. Up in the VIP box, Athena waves her hand like an empress. It is showtime, boys. Position up. The moment Athena drops the signal, the atmosphere in the arena gets heavy. It has officially begun. Fei Long explodes with this terrifying dark aura. Next second, he launches himself at Shixian like a human missile. Shut your mouth, bald donkey. And let's see you tank this. But our monk isn't sweating it. He parries every single strike with insane precision. Fei Long is fast, but he can't land a single critical hit on Shixian's weak points. Dad and the crew are watching from the sidelines, totally captivated. Down in the ring, they are moving at Mach speeds. Normal eyes can barely even track the blur of motion. Fei Long looks hyped up on adrenaline now. Those were just the appetizers, kid. You better be ready to. Use everything you've got to survive this. But mid-sentence, Shixian literally catches his fist out of the air. Dad is absolutely loving this turnaround. It looks like Shixian has the speed advantage. That first W is looking mighty secure right about now. But suddenly, Fei Long's vibe shifts. A sinister, creepy energy floods out of him. He doesn't look worried at all about his hand being caught. In fact, he is grinning. Shixian's expression drops. Something is seriously sus with this guy. How did his power level just skyrocket out of nowhere? Shixian knows he needs to break this stalemate fast. No hesitation. He needs to inflict damage now. He slams a palm strike into Fei Long and immediately backflips more than 10 meters away. He needs space. Fei Long lets out this maniacal villainous cackle. Playing hard to get, aren't we? Even the big shots Athena and Vale are nodding at Shixian's tactical retreat. He attacked and immediately reset neutral. That is some elite survival instinct right there. He smelled the trap a mile away. But back to Shixian, that palm strike. It backfired. His hand is throbbing from recoil damage. Fei Long sees him flinch and loses it, laughing like a psycho. He slowly reaches out a hand. Called you a fool earlier, didn't I? Guess I was right. Ever wonder what the fang of my boy Cadmus tastes like? Cadmus. Shixian's face twists in confusion. That name rings a bell. Turns out Cadmus is the spirit snake possessing Fei Long's body, a literal 2 versus 1. Fei Long mocks Shixian, telling him not to freeze up. Don't be scared, monk. Come at me. I'm just getting started, so don't you dare make this boring. Before the sound of his voice even fades, Fei Long glitches out of existence. Fine, if you won't aggro, I will. Let's see if that defense of yours can handle real pressure. Fei Long teleports right in front of Shixian's face, throwing a haymaker aimed to kill. Shixian has to dodge not just the fist but the live snake coiled around Fei Long's arm. That thing is snapping at him, moving with impossible speed. You never know when those jaws are going to sink in. Damn it, Shixian thinks. This snake is a total cheat code. After a few clashes, he realizes something bad. That snake isn't just fast. It is speeding up. It is way quicker than it was a moment ago, and its bite force is off the charts. Shixian's eyes go wide with rage. You think because I'm a monk I won't mess you up? Shixian pivots and smashes his other fist straight into the snake's head with a thunderous crack. But it was bait. While Shixian was focused on the pet, Fei Long moved like a phantom to his blind spot. Boom! Fei Long lands a heavy hit, sending Shixian skidding back. Finally, Shixian gets a split second to breathe. But something feels wrong. Did the snake get faster? No, wait. Why is Fei Long faster too? Then it hits him. He has been poisoned. His stats aren't stable. He has been nerfed. It is not that they got faster. Shixian realizes his own body has slowed down. Fei Long is basking in his arrogance now. Not bad for a bald guy. Your stamina is actually impressive, considering you're already dead. See, the poison dragon fang buffs my strength and restores my HP. Using the blood it drains from victims. Basically, lifesteal is active. In Fei Long's eyes, this poor monk is toast. Dad watches on tense. Let's size up Fei Long's condition right now. If this brawl keeps dragging on, the power gap between them is just going to get massive. You gotta wonder if Shichunzi can even survive this nightmare. The clash between Fei Long and Shichunzi is absolute chaos, but Fei Long is definitely calling the shots right now. Bam! Fei Long unleashes a savage kick, smashing right into Shichunzi's shoulder. Fei Long keeps the pressure on, laughing like a maniac. How's that dragon venom feel coursing through your veins? Let's see how long you last. Next second, he's landing every single hit on Shichunzi's body. Shichunzi can't even find an opening to fight back. He's just standing there, muttering sutras non-stop from his mouth. Fei Long hears the mumbling and bursts out laughing. You pathetic monk, you think reciting prayers is going to help you now, waiting for Buddha to swoop in and save you. But here's what Fei Long misses: Athena and Baigui. Just spotted something weird. Am I seeing things? Is that actual divine power wrapping around that monk? He isn't even S-class. Suddenly golden rays burst from Shichunzi, coating him in light. Fei Long, too focused on the beatdown, doesn't even notice. Shichunzi starts blocking strikes while keeping that chant going. Outside the ring, Dad is losing his mind. He's witnessing something insane. That move is crazy risky. But under this pressure, he actually came up with a genius fix. Are we actually going to take the W in this match? Because right now, Shichunzi looks straight up invincible. At this moment, Shichunzi clasps his palms together. All dharmas return to one. The dharma form is forged. Within the Vajra precepts, I pay homage to all manifestations of Buddha. Heed my call. Finally, Fei Long realizes something's off. This guy's aura is skyrocketing explosively. In a flash, a massive golden Buddha manifests in the void. The golden bodhisattva's eyes are filled with pure disdain, looking at Fei Long, the messenger of foreign gods, like he's absolutely nothing. The majesty is undeniable, but Fei Long, he just shrugs it off. I don't care about gods. These are just cheap parlor tricks. Don't think this garbage can stop my attacks. Shichunzi hovers in midair, piloting the giant Buddha ready to launch a counterattack. Suddenly, Shichunzi shoots forward, moving with insane speed. But Fei Long grins. You moron, you really want to go hand-to-hand with me? You must be cocky, because of that divine armor forged in your body. It reminds Fei Long of a moment in the past when he zeroed someone just as dumb as Shichunzi. That guy also believed he could use condensed divine power to block the poison dragon's fangs. Big mistake. He didn't know divine power is a richer energy source than fresh blood. As a result, that dude didn't last 2 rounds before Fei Long deleted him. Now seeing another fool try the same thing, Fei Long figures the ending will be identical. But Fei Long never expects what happens next. Shicunzi's fist smashes heavily into his face. The speed is so intense, Fei Long has zero time to react. Shicunzi swings his arm, and the recoil force sends Fei Long's body flying. He's full of disbelief. Did he actually use divine power to suppress the poison dragon debuff and restore his speed? Before he can blink, Shicunzi's giant foot slams into his lower gut. Fei Long coughs up a mouthful of fresh blood. It looks like he didn't just get his speed back, but his strength and reaction time too. It's a massive stat boost across the board. Back at full power, Shicunzi goes ham on Fei Long, like he's venting every bit of frustration he just endured. However, Fei Long's pain tolerance is god tier. You could say he's the guild's strongest tank. He eats Shicunzi's attacks head-on and seizes the opportunity to counter with the poison dragon. Fei Long's eyes light up with excitement. You probably don't get it yet, but the divine power in your body is the perfect snack for my pet. Damn, monk, just be a good boy and become food for the poison dragon. Shicunzi is shook. How is this possible? My divine power is getting sucked out by the poison dragon. Fei Long cackles loudly. Your divine power is mine now. I've won this match. But Fei Long has no idea what's coming next. Turns out that divine energy he just inhaled, it's actually a straitjacket locking him down tight. Pure panic washes over his face. He's totally lost, having zero clue what just hit him, because right now, his connection to that divine flow is severed. Dead silence. To put it simply, he's lost the wheel. Shicunzi chuckles. Yo, ego boy, think you popped the champagne a little too early. Before the sentence even lands, he throws a haymaker, smashing right into the venom dragon. You always call me a dummy, but looks like you're the real clown here. You probably missed the memo, but that Rakshasa energy, it absolutely wrecks the host's body. Fei Long freezes brain buffering. Wait, does this mean even my venom dragon can't stomach your energy? How Shicunzi shoots him a look like he's staring at a total moron. Who said anything about divine power? You're so basic. But while he's trash-talking, Shicunzi's fists never stop flying. Bam. One solid hit sends Fei Long ragdolling across the arena. Who would have bet on the legendary Fei Long from Tiger Roar Guild getting stomped by a monk? If word gets out, nobody would buy it. Outside the ring, Mom watches with ice-cold calm. Looks like the showdown between Shicunzi and Fei Long is a done deal. See, back in the day, Mom couldn't wrap her head around why Shicunzi chose the Rakshasa path. It blocks him from ever becoming an Eslar and limits his output strictly to pure physical strength. Plus the karma attached to that power. It's heavy, like nearly impossible to control. You gotta stack up good deeds constantly just to keep it in check. Only deep meditative focus can stop that karma from eating you alive. We're talking cause and effect. And Fei Long, he just swallowed way more karma than he can digest. Even twitching a muscle is gonna feel like lifting a mountain for him now. Right then, Shicunzi, knowing it's game over, puts his palms together and bows. But don't let the politeness fool you. His mouth is savage. Seems all those sins left you zero spiritual chill. You can't handle my karma. Dad cracks up laughing. Told you guys to chill. Shicunzi is a beast. If he says it's a dub, then he's taking this round guaranteed. Meanwhile, Athena and Vala, completely shook. They didn't even know power like that existed. But here's the twist. Just this little parlor trick isn't going to clinch the victory. If that's all he's got, then they're seriously underestimating us Eslars. Suddenly, Fei Long plants a hand, struggling to push himself off the dirt. Next second, he summons every ounce of grit and forces his body to obey. He's back in control, but Fei Long is running on fumes. His energy so low, he can't even hold the venom dragon form together. But his eyes, they're burning with pure, unadulterated rage. Fine, if that's how it is, we fight to the death, no matter what. He refuses to take the L. Suddenly, Fei Long grabs his shoulder and rips the venom dragon's mouth wide open. One last strike. Say your prayers, monk. Shicunzi watches as something massive surges out of Fei Long. A single drop of venom dragon blood hits the floor, and whoosh, thick pink smoke billows up instantly. Shicunzi sees the danger, clapping a hand over his nose and mouth, locking his breath in. That blood is pure concentrated death. He has to tread carefully. Glancing up, he sees the toxic fog has already flooded the entire arena. Then a thunderous boom echoes, sharpening his focus. Outside, Dad and Hansan are freaking out. That sound, it's like war drums beating. But how? Inside the haze, Fei Long stands, completely unfazed by the poison, like he's channeling something. General Ares, I offer this venom dragon blood. Grant me your spear. As he screams, the command the swirling. Smoke twists into a violent tornado. Snap. A spear, the color of toxic sludge, materializes. In midair, Fei Long reaches out to snatch it. This is it, his final trump card. As long as he grips that spear, he can keep fighting until his body literally crumbles to dust. Fear is gone. All that's left in his eyes is endless bloodlust. Athena stares, jaw on the floor. Is that A legit divine weapon. Even an Eslar can't wield that without level caps, and even then only for a few seconds. It packs the raw power of the gods and morphs perfectly to match the fighter's style. Fei Long bursts into manic laughter. This right here, it's the massive canyon separating the normies from the S-class elites. Shu Yunxi is looking like dead meat today. Meanwhile, Athena is low-key panicking. Fei Long just unleashing that poison dragon Ares gifted him. If the other gods catch wind of this cheat code, they're gonna flip. But hey, knowing Ares and his occasional merciful side, if Fei Long secures the W, he'll probably let it slide. Flip side, same logic applies. If Fei Long chokes, he's looking at some nightmare fuel punishment. Right now though, Fei Long has zero chill about consequences. He's laser focused on crushing this fight. Athena shakes off her nerves. No way a regular player beats an S-class rocking a divine weapon. It's just not happening. Worry's gone. With that spear in hand, Fei Long's ego skyrockets through the roof. He's looking at Shu Yunxi like he's trash now, feeling that power surge. It's go time to launch the counteroffensive. Shu Yunxi is shook, but tries to close the gap for melee combat anyway. Bad move. A split second later, Shu Yunxi realizes he can't even see the spear in Fei Long's grip, even blind to the weapon. He knows one thing for sure: stay away, keep the distance, and Fei Long shouldn't be able to touch him. But the moment that thought crosses his mind, an invisible strike slices his cheek open. Shu Yunxi's face twists in pure shock. Is this the endgame? I'm just getting started. Blow up, you miserable monk. As soon as Fei Long screams the command, boom, an explosion rips through the air right next to Shu Yunxi's ear. Totally caught him sleeping. Luckily, his instincts scream danger, and he blocks it last second with a charm. But here's the kicker. He feels that nasty, corrosive burn on the spear, just like the poison dragon. Ding system notification pops up. Thanks to the corrosive Ares blood effect, his defense just tanked by 50%. Yeah, you heard that right, 5-0. Shu Yunxi is basically made of glass now. Fei Long strolls over like he owns the place. Bet your armor is dust by now. Let's see you tank this. Boom. Fei Long blurs into motion like a lightning bolt, closing the gap instantly. He gets in close and throws a haymaker. Fast, Shu Yunxi weaves past it like a pro, but dodging the fist. That doesn't mean he's safe from the spear. Shu Yunxi's eyes go wide with pure horror. The guy is literally shooting spear spikes from his body. How do you even counter that? If he hadn't nerfed Fei Long's stats earlier, he'd be a corpse right now. Shu Yunxi spots a tiny opening and throws a quick palm strike. But it's weak sauce. Fei Long dodges it without even trying. Still, Shu Yunxi uses the momentum to backflip away and create some serious ground between them. Problem is, he has no clue what the max range on that spear is. Slowly, Shu Yunxi raises a hand and starts chanting, "Let the three realms be purified, wash away the conflict, extinguish the burning karmic sins." Fei Long cackles like a maniac. That's all you got. He digs his nails into his own palm, ripping the skin until fresh blood sprays out. In seconds, crimson liquid is gushing from the wound. You think running away saves you? Watch me boost my range. Deal with this. Shu Yunxi ignores the trash talk, completely lips moving in silent prayer. Suddenly, Fei Long sees something that stops him cold. A massive magic circle forms right over him, golden light, cages him in slamming down with enough pressure to flatten a tank. Fei Long's eyes bug out. Disbelief. It's the purification mantra Shu Yunxi was prepping, a holy spell that scrubs away dark energy. That nasty poison dragon blood effect, mostly wiped out. But instead of panicking, an arrogant laugh rumbles from Fei Long's throat. He's not done yet. Trying to seal me so you can cheese a win. From safe distance. Don't be naive. Then the impossible happens. Fei Long actually stands up, fighting against the crushing weight. He takes a step, and a terrifying aura explodes from his body. He clocks Fei Long's stats, and his jaw hits the floor. No time to blink, he screams at Shu Yunxi to watch his six. Fei Long is in full-on demon mode right now. With a sickening hiss, a crimson blood spike shoots out, aiming straight for Shu Yunxi's skull. Luck is on his side, though it only shreds his bamboo hat. 0 HP damage, but definitely max emotional damage. That was way too close for comfort. Meanwhile, Goddess Athena manifests right in front of Dad, dripping in holy light like a final boss. But her vibe is ice cold. She declares interference equals punishment. Boom. A beam of golden judgment slams into Dad. The pain is unbearable, forcing him to his knees. Mom rushes in from the backline, spamming heals instantly. "Honey, you good?" Dad is absolutely shaking. The sheer pressure of those divine flames keeps him pinned to the floor. The gap in power is insane. But what really grinds Dad's gears, Athena actually knocked off. One single hit point. The disrespect. Back in the ring, Fei Long's blood aura explodes sky high. Every drop of blood turns into toxic gas and razor-sharp spikes. Without that warning, it would have been game over. Fei Long glances at Dad, realizing the interference is dealt with. Sweat starts dripping down Shu Yunxi's face. Close combat is a death trap, but Fei Long's ranged blood blades make this a nightmare matchup. The difficulty just spiked to hardcore. He stands up, forcing a slow, steady breath to center his chi. Based on my stamina bar, I've got maybe 3 minutes tops. No other options. It's fight or die. Fei Long, on the other hand, zero chill. He's done playing with his food and wants to speedrun this kill. Dragging this out is pointless. Both fighters flare their magic power simultaneously. The air crackles with thunderous energy. Shu Yunxi shuts his eyes, focusing inward. He cycles through the Arhat realms, celestial wisdom, Dharma, Buddha. If I trigger the Dharma Eye, I can take the W. All paths merge. Dharma Eye active. The monk vibe vanishes, replaced by a ruthless Asura. Mercy is gone. He's walking the path of pure slaughter now. This eye tech gives him a massive stat boost. Fei Long winds up his spear for a fatal strike. Even with the buff, the timer is ticking. The effect won't last forever. He needs a strats check fast or he's toast. Shu Yunxi locks onto that spear. Wait a minute. There's barely any divine energy concentrated in that weapon. It's just like the blood sword from earlier weak aura coverage. It's all flash, no substance. Shu Yunxi smirks. He gets it now. This guy looks scary, but he's just a paper tiger with no fangs. 3 Buddha seals manifest behind him. As Fei Long thrusts, Shu Yunxi doesn't dodge. Clang. He catches the attack barehanded. Fei Long's face twists in shock. He read my movements. How? A lowly monk shouldn't have this battle IQ. Shu Yunxi bursts out laughing. This is your legendary blood spear. I'm actually disappointed. It's mid at best. With a casual flex, he snaps the spear like a twig. You're way too predictable, bro. You call this your ultimate weapon. To my eyes, it is absolutely worthless. Fei Long screeches in disbelief. My blood spear. Broken. Even Athena and Baiji in the VIP seats are losing it. How did he do that? Those blood threads are thinner than hair. No human eye should be able to track that. Unlike the haters, Dad is absolutely hyped. He knew it. Shu Yunxi wasn't bluffing. He really had a counter for that spear. Now that is a teammate you can trust. Shu Yunxi stares at the blood mist swirling in his palm. Accumulated evil energy breeds dark thoughts, so he decides to cleanse it right now. Massive karma flows through his fingers instantly, purifying the corruption. Fei Long, however, refuses to accept defeat. So what if you read my attack? Big deal, I can still take you down. But suddenly, Shu Yunxi freezes, looking startled. The blood mist he just purified. Purified. No, it's evolved. That blood mist just went full autopilot, and it's locking onto a target. From the sidelines, Athena drops the lore bomb. The divine energy balance. Totally chaotic. And because that blood is diluted, it's not just hitting hard. It's phasing right through enemy armor. That mist transforms into a lethal homing missile, rushing straight for Shu Chenxi's throat. Athena and Baal are watching closely to see if the monk can tank this. But right at the buzzer, Shu Chenxi flips the switch. Dharma Eye activate. A massive gravitational field slams down on Fei Long, crushing him so hard he can barely keep his knees off the ground. Fei Long's face twists into a mask of pure savagery. This damn monk is ruining everything. But he's not done. Just as Fei Long preps a kill shot, Shu Chenxi raises a single hand. Instantly, those blood blades freeze in midair, unable to inch forward. All living things are shackled by their own stupidity, bound by trauma, falling into the 3 hells and enduring infinite pain. Outside the ring, Athena screams a warning. Watch out for his eyes, that monk isn't normal. He's tracking the flow of divine mana. Fei Long is totally lost. What kind of overpowered visual jutsu is this? Then Athena drops the bad news, Fei Long's current attack pattern, completely useless against this guy. Hearing this, Huntinson's jaw hits the floor. No way. Athena actually decoded the monk's Dharma Eye mechanics that fast. He immediately glances up at the spectral projection of goddess Athena. That Athena on the sidelines is coaching the fighter. Isn't the ref gonna stop this goddess? Athena looks genuinely conflicted. As the referee, she can't just let it slide. Her massive phantom avatar points a finger at the sideline, Athena. Strike 1. Do that again and you're penalized. Huntinson loses it, shouting, "Are you kidding me? That is blatant bias. Why did our boss get slapped with a penalty, while that woman just gets a verbal warning?" But Papa shuts him down cold. Forget it. Focus on the monk. As long as Shu Chenxi takes the W, nothing else matters. Back in the arena, Shu Chenxi's hand is still raised. Gravity waves are stacking up, layer upon layer, crushing Fei Long's skeleton like a hydraulic press, pinning him to the floor. Fei Long snarls at Athena, "Shut up, I don't need your charity." A simple, "Monk can't touch me," but instant karma hits hard, and he pays the price for that trash talk, because he's about to witness a nightmare scenario. The monk's aura explodes, shifting violently as he starts murmuring ancient sutras. And then, the real boss shows up. A Dharma avatar manifests right behind him. This isn't just any spirit. It's the sacred form of Fudo Mayo, the phantom king of wisdom. Even running at just 10% of its original power, this is way above a mortal's pay grade. Fei Long is livid, bordering on total despair. You miserable bald freak, how many cheat codes do you have? Shu Chenxi ignores the noise and keeps chanting. When the sutra is spoken, the guardian manifests, clearing the path and granting peace to those who say my name. He's completely locked in, devoutly reciting the summoning sutra. It's the first spell every rookie monk learns, but don't get it twisted, it's not weak. Actually, when it manifests Fudomayo, buffs defense and attack power by more than double. But pulling this off takes insane talent and grit. As long as he finishes the chant, he unlocks 10% of that god tier power. The catch: the cast time is 30 seconds. For 30 whole seconds, he can't break concentration. If he flinches, the whole spell fails. What he doesn't realize is that Fei Long's face is already warped with rage. He's secretly charging up his muscles, fighting against the gravity well. But just as he's about to stand, Shu Chenxi presses his hand down a fraction, and Fei Long is forced to kiss the dirt again. Shu Chenxi is loving this. He looks down at Fei Long with pure mockery in his eyes, chanting, a 30-second spell right in front of an enemy's face. That is the ultimate disrespect. But Fei Long cooks up a crazy plan. He rips open his own flesh, letting fresh blood spill to launch a surprise attack. As his blood hits the ground, it shoots toward Shu Chenxi at Mach speed, desperate to break that chant. Athena watches the train wreck unfold from the sidelines, unable to hide her concern. This guy, a certified idiot. He had one job: break the seal and interrupt the sutra, but he's just flailing around like a headless chicken. Fei Long's offense is hitting absolute zero right now. With the Dharma Eye active, those blood blades might as well be paper cuts against Shu Janzi. The monk weaves through the barrage with zero effort. Tragically, Fei Long's brain seems to have already checked out of the building. Logic is gone. Rationality left the chat. His singular brain cell is screaming one thing: waste that bald monk right here, right now. Spoiler alert, Fei Long is about to be majorly disappointed. Not a single attack is even grazing Shu Janzi's face. That chant is basically kryptonite for evil dragon bloodlines, totally suppressing his power. Trying to brute force through it would burn an insane amount of divine energy. So yeah, Fei Long's assault is useless against the Dharma Eye. He can't even scratch the guy. He spams a few more blood swords, but the monk's movement techniques are just too smooth. He's untouchable. Fei Long has officially snapped. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. Shu Janzi needs just 15 seconds to finish his chant. Once that recitation wraps up, it's game over for Fei Long. But suddenly a plot twist strikes. Blood starts streaming from Shu Janzi's eyes. Looks like his ocular powers just hit their red line. That Dharma Eye wasn't meant for marathon usage. Both fighters are running on fumes. It's a pure stamina battle now. Catching that weakness, Fei Long's heart pumps with savage joy. Since the monk is vulnerable, this is his 1 in a million shot to clap back and turn the tables. He slams his hands into the arena floor, summoning a massive crimson tide to flood the zone. Fei Long dumps his entire blood reserve for a final nuke, but above him, the Fudo Miao avatar is locking in. It's getting solid. In 10 seconds flat, that monk is going to drop the beat on this sutra. 9 seconds remaining. The Mu side flashes a winning smirk. 6 seconds on the clock. Athena closes her eyes. She knows Fei Long is out of cards. Behind her, the commentary gets ruthless. Bai shouts out, roasting the guy. All rage, 0 brain cells. 3 seconds left. Baek and Hansen are already mentally popping champagne. The W is secured. The suspense is dead. But here's what the crowd doesn't see. Shu Janzi has shattered his own ceiling. That Dharma Eye is literally burning his life force as fuel. He's hanging by a thread, but he refuses to slip up even a micrometer. He powers through the final verse, world-honored one. The moment those words leave his lips, the timer hits 0 seconds. Boom. The Fudo Mu avatar behind him springs into action. The speed is god tier. A mysterious pressure crushes Fei Long, locking him down like he's stuck in cement. Fudo Mu delivers the ultimate smackdown, landing a catastrophic blow squarely on Fei Long's body. That impact sends him straight to the Shadow Realm, instant blackout. The Tiger Roar Guild's S-rank hunter is down. The Asura Messenger has been completely dismantled. The winner, United Guild's vice president. The S-rank powerhouse, Shu Janzi. The monk lets out a long, heavy breath. He was running on empty ages ago. Thank the gods he managed to fold the enemy's ace before passing out himself. Floating above, Athena drops the verdict. Victory goes to the allied forces. With the call made, the protective barrier slowly dissolves. Our squad erupts into hype cheers. Shu Janzi humbly bows to the crowd. My skills are lacking, he says. I got lucky against Fei Long. Honestly, I'm embarrassed it was this close. But at least I didn't let the team down. Athena's projection turns to the audience for the official wrap-up. Winner of the first finals match, United Guild Fei Long, gets warped out of the arena. Athena starts patching him up. The guy's durability is no joke, fully recovering in just over 10 minutes. But Athena isn't offering any sympathy. Her voice is ice cold. You need to grind harder. Getting owned by a monk, absolute cringe. Neither notices the pair of feet creeping up behind Fei Long until the aura hits them like a truck. Fei Long's eyes widen in pure shock. It's the longsword user and the whip wielder. They're humiliated by his loss and look ready to beat some sense into him. Fei Long starts spamming apologies. He swears on his life he'll never lose again. But let's be real, those apologies are totally falling on deaf ears. Useless. A thunderous roar cuts him off cold. Shut your trap. A flop is a flop. Save the excuses. Smirks creep across their faces like a virus. Father DM'd us. He's massively disappointed in your trash performance. Now you get the honor of us ending you right here. Our weapons are gonna siphon a chunk of your power. Pure terror floods Fei Long's eyes, but he's totally frozen. Helpless. Forced to just sit there and take the punishment. Suddenly, the shadowy figure behind him snaps, lashing the whip against Fei Long's body with pure rage. The strikes draw blood instantly, sending ice-cold shivers down Choi Jin-han's spine just watching the brutality. Is this how they treat their own squad? After a brutal 10-minute beatdown, they finally quit. Father's feeling merciful today. It ends here. Disappoint father again. Bring a bucket for your head. Fei Long is barely hanging onto life by a thread. And remember, those were divine weapons doing the damage. Before they bounce, they drop one last cold line. Take care. And just like that, they vanish. Once they're gone, pure hatred ignites in the eyes of Fei Long. That damn monk caused this. I'm gonna end him. Talk about a contrast, the monk is getting hyped up by everyone after his W, while Fei Long just survived a massacre. Suddenly, a laugh cuts through Fei Long's dark thoughts. You probably won't get that chance because I'm up next. With a casual flick of his palm, black-purple energy swirls in his hand, slowly solidifying into a wicked black scythe. He's dead serious about the lack of opportunities, because he knows the Tiger Roar Guild is taking the dub. The loser, they're gonna burn, alive in the eternal flames of Hades' hell. Brutal. Now someone from our squad has to step up. Choi Jin-han pauses for a sec. He can sense this guy's aura is no joke. It rivals Fei Long's power level, so he decides to handle this boss fight himself. As Choi Jin-han steps into the arena, his wife hands him a charm. Take this. You're fighting Ba Ye. That guy has inherited at least 60% of the Death God's power, so his attacks are definitely going to target your soul directly. This might save you. He grabs the item. If you're handing this over, it must be clutch. Behind them, Shu-chan and Han Tae-san scream their war cry. The guild union takes the W. Choi Jin-han replies, totally locked in, I'll end this and be right back. The next second, Choi Jin-han strides boldly toward the center of the battlefield. His silhouette screams warrior spirit, marching toward his destiny with unshakable resolve. As a warrior, Choi Jin-han can launch sword energy to suppress distant enemies, but that takes charge-up time. In a one-on-one close quarters, combat is his best play. Choi Jin-han mentally runs through the battle sequence. First, pop swift step to close the gap. Then unleash a spam of strikes to shut down any counters. Third spot the weakness and land the critical finisher. He names this strat the 3-step kill method. It's the simplest tactic, but honestly, it's the most effective. Right then, phantom shadows burst from Ba Ye's body, swirling around him like a shield. Athena's phantom hovers in the air and waves her hand. Warriors, take your positions. The match starts. Now. The second it begins, Ba Ye swings that scythe and a swarm of phantom shadows rush straight at Choi Jin-han. He's fully focused. Executing step 1 of his method, he triggers flash step to weave through the spirits and analyze his opponent's moves. With that thought, he slashes rapidly left to right, carving a massive X pattern that clears a path right through the evil spirits. Seeing this, Ba Ye is actually kind of surprised. He looks like just another basic, predictable swordsman. But while Ba Ye is busy yapping, Choi Jin-han's figure already teleports. Right behind him, hand-cocked for a jujutsu strike. Yet Ba Ye looks totally unfazed. His face screams absolute control. With a sharp zing, Choi Jin-han's blade slices horizontally, cleaving Ba Ye's body cleanly in two. The power of the hit is devastatingly ferocious, giving Ba Ye zero reaction time. But instant shock floods Choi Jin-han's mind. His hands don't feel any sensation of cutting solid flesh. That means his whole strategy just failed. The figure he just sliced, turns out it was just a phantom shadow clone. There's no denying it. Choi Jin-han wasted a golden opportunity and exposed his ace card to the enemy. He curses under his breath. Damn it. Dozens of evil spirits instantly materialize behind him, lunging straight for the kill. Instantly, the spirits swarm together, whipping up a violent tornado of black fog that totally swallows Choi Jin-han. But Ba Ye isn't buying it. He knows that trap won't hold a beast like him, so he keeps backing off to create distance. Spot-on prediction. With zero effort, Choi Jin-han slashes his blade just once, busting a path wide open. He explodes out of that vortex without missing a beat, locking straight onto the real Ba Ye. He's gotta end this fast. A smirk creeps across Ba Ye's face. And here I thought you were actually smart. But you're even thicker than Phylon. Guess this is where you peak. The second those words leave his mouth, Choi Jin-han lunges his blade, slicing the guy clean in two. Again, tough break. He fell for the exact same bait. His blade just tears through another phantom shadow clone, meaning zero damage to the real deal. But don't sleep on Choi Jin-han's hearing. It is unnaturally sharp. Locking onto Bei-Ye's voice, he instantly recalibrates, zeroing in on the real target's location. Right now, he's relentless like a machine, shredding through Bei-Ye's shadow clones one by one. But every swing is a dud. Honestly, Choi Jin-han's about to win this fight just by making Bei-Ye die of laughter. Never met a swordsman this brain dead. You do realize my phantom clones are literally infinite, right? He snaps his fingers, summoning dozens more clones right in Choi Jin-han's face. Go ahead, take a wild guess. Which one is the real me? Bei-Ye exhales a thick fog right at him. A warrior who can't even spot his enemy is worthless trash. You've already lost. Choi Jin-han's gaze sharpens, intense and focused. Since standard attacks are a bust, he's got no choice but to unleash that move. The very next second, Choi Jin-han drops into a strange stance, gripping his blade vertical and tight as his aura flares up like crazy. Since you're so cocky, let's see if you can handle this. But the Tiger Roar Guild's S-rank hunter isn't dumb enough to let him power up. With two sharp whooshes, Choi Jin-han lashes out, obliterating the incoming phantoms instantly. Watching from the stands, Athena is convinced Choi Jin-han has absolutely zero shot at winning. But one thing catches her off guard. His wife's face is stone, cold calm, not a shred of worry for him. For someone lower ranked, that kind of chill is unnatural. They've got to be hiding an ace up their sleeve. Back in the ring, Choi Jin-han shifts to an attack stance, instantly piquing Bei-Ye's interest. Looks like you've got some new tricks. Suddenly, shock hits Athena's face as she screams out a warning, telling Bei-Ye to watch his back. The second she shouts, Bei-Ye senses the vibe shift too. Choi Jin-han vanishes into thin air, clocking 4 rapid-fire steps, only to materialize right behind Bei-Ye. His eyes are practically burning, barely holding back pure murderous intent. This is Choi Jin-han's ultimate awakening, the octuple jump, a terrifying technique that chains 8 consecutive leaps with speed that doubles exponentially every single time. Earlier, Choi Jin-han used this exact move to shake off a vengeful spirit. But right now, he powers up his legs again, and with a sharp hiss of air, he's gone, moving faster than the human eye can track. By the time he flickers back into view, he's right on top of Bei-Ye, blade primed to kill. Bei-Ye's mind is reeling. What is up with this guy? How is he still getting faster? In a panic, Bei-Ye throws a clone in the way to take the hit. But Choi Jin-han's gaze, it's locked tight on the real target. Gotcha. Nowhere to run. In a literal blink, he materializes right in Bei-Ye's face. That's jump number 5. He unleashes a devastating sword beam, but damn it smashes into another clone. 0 damage to the boss. But Choi Jin-han, he relocks onto Bei-Ye's position instantly, and the second he pings that location, he strikes again. Now Bei-Ye is actually panicking. If his reflexes weren't god tier, he would have lost his head right there. Before he can even process that, Choi Jin-han hits jump 7, warping right behind him. Same story, another miss. You gotta hand it to him, Bei-Ye's reaction speed is honestly insane. But Choi Jin-han wields the inherited power of a hero. Now he's leveraging that raw speed advantage to completely shatter Bei-Ye's spirit and finally take his head. Clang weapons collide. It's exactly as Choi Jin-han planned. He's finally outpacing Bei-Ye. He totally shuts down the phantom shadow clones, keeping that speed advantage over Bei-Ye. That is Choi Jin-han's golden ticket to the W. Right then, a warrior silhouette flickers into existence behind Choi Jin-han. Absolute cinema. It's the ultimate flex of his hero heritage. And look at Athena's face. She is not vibing with this at all. No wonder this guy can sit as a guildmaster. He might not be S rank, but that raw power alone rivals the top dogs. There were tons of theories about where the tower came from, but the main one, it's where human history crashes right into mythology. History and myth are two sides of the same coin. If God is the symbol of mythology, then heroes. They are the living embodiment of history. But inheriting a hero is way different than being a god's chosen one. People grind their whole lives hoping a god picks them. But inheriting a hero, that's destiny knocking. So from Athena's point of view, Choi Jin-han is like the luckiest guy alive. Bei-Ye cracks a smirk. You really think you can take me in a brawl? Your mortal flesh against the Reaper's scythe, please. You don't stand a chance. But here's the tea, even with that god-tier scythe, Bei-Ye's actual combat skills look pretty mid. Choi Jin-han smells blood in the water. When it comes to range and coverage, Choi dominates the board, while Bei-Ye is on the ropes. But that's a divine weapon. Humans can't just master that overnight. Bei-Ye swings with savage momentum, smashing straight down. But that swing, sloppy. It leaves a massive opening. Choi Jin-han's eyes light up with pure mockery. Did a god teach you that? Because it sucks. Bei-Ye finally snaps. Boom. The next second, Choi Jin-han's blade drives straight through his heart. Choi laughs. Gotcha, you thought I'd dodge. Nope, that was my 8th step. Watching from the sidelines, Hansan goes wild. That's our leader. Wrapping it up in record time. But then, Mom's voice cuts through the hype. Don't celebrate yet. That hit did 0 damage. Suddenly, on the battlefield, a creepy laugh erupts from Bei. That victory face, it's hilarious. Choi Jin-han freezes. Wait, I didn't hit him. That phantom technique has 0 cooldown. Bei cackles. I never said I only swap with spirits. You just played yourself with those assumptions. As he speaks, his hand is already phasing toward Choi's chest. He goes solid and squeezes, gripping Choi Jin-han's heart. The moment he materializes, it's instant death. Choi feels the Reaper breathing down his neck. This is bad. Without hesitate, he flashes backward, barely escaping. This time, Choi Jin-han definitely underestimated this guy. That touch left a mark, the mark of the Underworld Lord. Bei-Ye's lethal setup caught him completely off guard. He can turn into an ethereal spirit form, dissolving his physical body. Right now, Bei-Ye looks like the straight-up god of death. 4 marks and your soul is mine. You'll be my puppet. But don't worry, I won't. Give you a second chance to run. My next hit crushes your heart for real. Choi Jin-han looks down and spots the Hades seal on his chest. 4 stacks mean he turns into a Hades specter. Choi Jin-han is in a desperate spot. If he gets close, he risks physical contact and more marks. It's inevitable. Even the mighty Choi Jin-han is sweating right now. Bei-Ye's ability is a total nightmare to deal with. Choi grips his sword until it creaks. His 8 steps move is on cooldown and he is dying to pop his ultimate. Bei-Ye taunts him. I'll give you props for talent, but at the end of the day, you're a nobody. He launches himself at Choi. Bei-Ye is in spirit mode, burning through mana and taking extra damage from magic. But luck is on his side. His opponent is a pure physical fighter, making Choi's attacks useless. As Bei-Ye closes the gap, his claws drift toward Choi's shoulder like smoke. Choi's reaction speed is insane. He snaps back the second he senses the threat. Bei-Ye laughs maniacally. You're fast, I'll give you that. But it's pointless. He moves again. Faster than a blink, his scythe slashes across Choi Jin-han's body. Direct hit. A nasty gash opens up on his right shoulder. That's mark number 2. 2 more hits and you're mine forever. Panic starts setting in for Jin-han. Keeping this up is a death sentence. Bei-Ye starts spelling out the nightmare scenario. Your body is gonna burn, rot, and crumble to dust in hell. Your bones, they'll turn to powder. Chains will shackle your soul, turning you into my personal puppet. He doesn't just talk, he moves. Cold sweat drips down Jin-han's face. This damn psycho. Next second, Bei-Ye teleports right behind him. Mark number 3. Jin-han scrambles back, swinging his blade wildly, but slicing through a ghost is completely useless. Jin-han switches gears, backpedaling to force some distance between him and the spirit. But Bei-Ye isn't stupid, trying to drain my mana by forcing me out of spirit form. Cute trick. Too bad it won't work. I can keep this ghost mode up for at least 3 more minutes. 1 tap wraps this up. It all comes down to this next exchange. Jin-han knows the score. He dumps every ounce of power into his sword. Bei-Ye just cracks up. You're actually a clown. Still charging that sword, aren't you terrified of the 4th mark? The second the words leave his mouth, he's already looming behind Jin-han's back. But Jin-han isn't panicking. He slowly draws his blade, Zeta. As the steel slides out, blue lightning arcs along the metal. With every inch revealed, Bei-Ye thinks he's already won. Swords can't cut him. Fists can't touch him. He just needs to land one finger. They move in sync. Jin-han's mind flashes to that small pouch his wife gave him. Thank God for her. He's been prepping for this exact split second. This isn't a desperate swing. It's a finisher. Pure murder fills his eyes. He triggers the 8 steps jump, flickering right in front of Bei-Ye. Slash. As Jin-han slowly slides the sword back into its sheath, Bei-Ye's head separates from his neck. Clean hit to the throat. Instant kill. Meanwhile, our main character finally makes his grand return. He's sprinting like a madman. Intel says his parents are in deep trouble. And waiting in the arena, an insanely overpowered triple S rank hunter. Better hurry up, kid, or this show gets boring. Back on the battlefield, the fight seems over. Jin-han is ready to pop the champagne. But something feels off. The air gets heavy. Massive, pitch-black energy erupts from Bei-Ye's corpse. Jin-han whips around and sees pure terror, not on his own face, but on Bei-Ye's severed head. The dead guy is staring at something that scares him senseless. Reality tears open. A massive skeletal hand claws its way out. Enter the skeleton Demon King. Pathetic. You lost so easily. Jin-han goes on high alert. What the hell is that thing? The magical pressure is crushing. The Demon King ignores him completely, snatching Bei-Ye's severed head like a grape. Partner, I gave you the juice to win this fight. Your loss proves you're trash. With a sickening crunch, the skeleton Demon King squashes Bei-Ye's head. This is the end of the line. Everyone is shook. Is that Hades? The Demon King, Jin Han screams, burning his last reserves to charge the monster. Bad move. His gut screams danger. Going forward is a death sentence. Hades looks at him like he's a bug. He reaches out, grabbing Jin Han tight. Stupid human. Know your place. Seeing this, the guild members scramble to save him, but a spectral Athena cuts them off. Back off, conspirators. This arena is your grave. Her voice drops to absolute zero. From now on, no one steps into the domain of gods. But the second she shuts up, boom, lightning explodes behind her, vaporizing her avatar instantly. The Tiger Roar dudes are floored. Look, someone's dropping from the sky. That's me. I crash straight through the barrier, weapon in hand. I have zero clue what's happening, but I'm here to wreck shop. Guess my timing was impeccable. You're all frozen stiff just watching my family suffer in this mess. I can read the room. From this second on, I'm taking all of you on. Come at me at once. Rewind 3 minutes. The skeleton demon king Hades snatches Choi Jin Han's body. Mom screams panic in her voice. Hyuk-do, it's all on you now. Pure bloodlust explodes from my gaze while a lightning spear solidifies in my grip, crackling with energy. Without hesitation, I hurl a thunderbolt straight at Hades' skull. Hades roars back. Even if you shatter the barrier, your father belongs to me. Meanwhile, Hantei-san slams the ground hard. Forget everything else. Save our leader first. As gravity pulls me down, a massive stone pillar surges up, boosting me back into the air. Big thanks, Hantei-san. I owe you a solid favor for that one. Once the dust settles, I launch myself off the ground with explosive force, zeroing in on the skeleton's arm. Demon King Hades actually looks terrified, totally losing his cool as I shatter his arm with a single strike. Hades shrieks in pure agony. You little punk, you dared to sever my arm. Ignoring him, I pry open his grip and snatch my father back. My killing intent is so thick you could cut it with a knife. As long as I'm breathing, nobody dies today. And none of you are walking out of here alive. Hades bellows in rage, but he can't lay a finger on me. I never expected Dad to hold out this long. Honestly though, this skeleton isn't the real threat. The actual danger is stationed outside. Whoever's beyond the barrier controlling that lightning, that guy is on a whole different level. Hands down the strongest presence I've felt since escaping the abyss. It's baffling, why did his lightning deal 0 damage, and why just let me waltz right in? But that's not even the biggest head scratcher. Somehow, inexplicably, after taking his hit, I absorbed his ability. That exact power is what let me smash through the barrier. I rush Dad over to Mom's side. No time for Q&A right now. I stand up, locking eyes with the figure hovering above. That guy is lethal. I need to take him out first. The Lich wears this twisted, amused expression. What a delightful show. I'm going to enjoy watching you lose everyone you love. That is if you can even reach me. Suddenly, Fei Long's voice screams out. Now that Athena's wretched ghost has gone to hell with the rules, he's targeting Shu Quanxi, desperate for a rematch to wash away his earlier humiliation. Fei Long closes in on the monk. Round 2 begins. Athena stays put, staring at the Lich in the sky. She finds her leader's silence odd. Why isn't he stopping Fei Long's rampage? Then it clicks. Is our leader testing that kid's true power? With that realization, Athena summons her shield and longsword. She can't just stand idle. She glances back at Hugo. How long are you planning to just watch? You haven't said a word since we got here. Hugo ignores her. Mind your own business. Get a grip. Suddenly, a terrifying aura radiates from the Skeleton King. Death feels inevitable in his presence. Hundreds of ghostly shadows charge our position right now. To me, this Skeleton King is pathetically weak, but I can't ignore him. He might target my family. So I bark an order to Hantei-san to shield my parents. He doesn't hesitate, smashing his fist into the earth. Massive rocks erupt from the ground, encasing the 3 of them. In seconds, he builds a defensive fortress. At level 75, that wall should tank attacks from anyone here, even with the curse dropping their levels by 30. With my parents locked down safe, under Han's protection, I unleash my full power. They actually dared to touch my parents. Today, nobody is walking away from this. Meanwhile, Fei Long is going berserk, locked in brutal combat with Shu Quanxi. With his strength recovered, he's overpowering the monk. Suddenly, pure shock widens Fei Long's eyes as my shadow looms over him. Caught in mid-attack. You're annoying the hell out of me. You die first. Simultaneously, 6 spectral dragon heads materialize around Fei Long's hands. How is he that fast? He blinked into existence right in front of me like he teleported. Come get some. Let's see if you can survive. My jaws barely leaves his mouth before my leg connects. I slam into Fei Long's body, shattering every single bone in his frame like cheap glass. All that arrogance vanishes as he gets launched by a single kick. He streaks past a stunned Athena. 1 hit. Game over. He just watched a double S rank warrior get one-shotted. Athena starts cursing up a storm. Useless idiot. Can't even take 1 hit. With Fei Long out of the picture, Shuqianzi is free. I signal him to handle the ghost mob immediately. His karma is the perfect hard counter for these spiritual freaks. Shuqianzi claps his hands together and starts chanting, "Fight without fear, I got your parents." A golden aura erupts from Shukianzi, locking down the ghosts and burning them away with holy light. Backline is secure. I step up to intercept Athena. You can practically smell the panic on her now. She knows Baigui's spirits are toast against that monk. She needs to end this fast. She hurls her shield. Zero hesitation, but I catch it one-handed. It doesn't even push me back an inch. Her eyes are screaming murder. She really doesn't want to fight. A monster like me, but she's out of options. Honestly, Athena's attacks look like rookie moves. I block her strikes without breaking a sweat. My turn. With her body locked down and her shield in my grip, she's finished. I smash the shield's edge right into her elbow. Snap. Then, I ram the shield straight into her face. Crunch. You brought this nice toy. Only fair I use it on you right. I proceed to use her own weapon, to absolutely wail on her. Something about this woman disgusts me, so I don't hold back. Full power every hit. 3 minutes of non-stop brutality later, her face is unrecognizable. Suddenly, a voice booms from above. "You useless morons, absolute failures." The Lich extends a hand, summoning a crackling arc of lightning. "Did you forget you're still under the weakness curse? Until that Hexmaster dies, you're nerfed. Your combat power is capped at level 70. Of course, you can't beat a level 100 rookie." Then the Lich shifts his gaze. He's looking right at the stone wall behind Shukianzi. Shukianzi freezes. He never expected the Lich to have this kind of divine power. Worst case scenario, he's aiming for Yugdo's mother. Shukianzi slowly peels off his eye cover. He knows it's risky, but there's no plan B. In a split second, he triggers the Celestial Eye again. He needs to manifest a weapon immediately to block the Lich. Shukianzi fires up the eyes, but the Lich up top isn't giving him time to cast. Seeing that massive energy buildup, Shukianzi starts to panic. "Die trash, burn under my lightning." The next instant, the bolt fires. It's blinding, countless streaks of electricity focusing into one point. Boom! The lightning slams into the stone barricade Hante-san put up. My heart skips a beat. I have to stop that beam before the wall gives out. Too slow. By the time I turn, the wall is already obliterated. The stone collapses. My parents are buried under that rubble. I force my eyes open through the dust. I see a hand poking out of the ruins. It's Mom. Her hand waves weakly in the air, then drops limp. My blood runs cold. No. I sprint toward her, losing my mind, but a shield comes spinning at me. Athena's shield. I throw a punch filled with pure rage. "Move, you idiot crack." The shield goes, spiraling away. But wait, my arm actually hurts. It looks like her limiters are gone. Her power just skyrocketed straight to level 100. Athena is beyond pissed. "Have fun beating me up." My turn. Her level jumped from 72 to 106. I clash with her fist. Massive boom, but I can feel it. She's strong. She's insanely OP right now, which is wild. But the real kicker, as soon as I clash with Athena, I'm totally paralyzed. Like Glitch in the Matrix frozen. A cold spike of terror hits my chest. Yo, what is actually happening? Athena lets out this icy laugh. "You know why I'm dominating, because the weakness curse on your mother is gone. That means she's dead." I snap. With a burst of pure adrenaline, I send Athena flying across the map. "Shut your mouth." But she's lying. Mom isn't gone. Athena just threw that out there to tilt me, and I walked right into it. The mind game works flawlessly. I took the bait. Athena smirks, looking at me like I'm total trash. Weak minds make easy prey. Boom. She launches a construct of pure light straight through my chest. I'm skewered, but weirdly. My HP bar isn't dropping. Whatever. I need to get to Mom like yesterday, so I don't have time to entertain Athena. She is absolutely shook. She definitely landed that hit. So why am I still moving? She scans me with her perception ability and realizes her attack did 0 damage. The math isn't mathing for her. She's level 100 right now. Nobody tanks her shots. But here's the twist. My body holds divine energy that totally eclipses the gods. It's like I have a black hole inside me, eating up any holy attack she throws and converting it into my own fuel. Athena is completely baffled. What kind of monster has this terrifying power but no clue how to use it? Meanwhile, I'm spiraling with anxiety. Mom is still buried under that rubble, and the clock is ticking. Behind me, the goddess rearms herself. No wonder the big boss put a hit out on me. I'm a glitch they can't allow to exist. Next second, a lance and shield spawn in her hands. Holy aura active. Physical attack and defense boosted by 20%. Athena yells out, "Bei, how go? I'm taking this guy down, but I need your juice." Bei summons his weapon instantly. I curse under my breath. Why do these guys always interrupt the cutscenes? I glance back and see the assassin How Go closing in on me too. Suddenly, all 3 top tiers of Eslar are converging on my location. They're terrified I'll master this divine energy. Surpass them, maybe even surpass the gods themselves. They have to spawn kill me now. A victory grin flashes across Athena's face. "Game over, kid." I stare at Mom's hand sticking out of the debris, fighting back tears. Then I see it. Her fingers twitch in the air. Wait, she's not out of the game yet. Athena screams. Everyone lock him down. The Eslar trio shoots out iron chains, trying to root me in place. Mom reaches out trying to hold me one last time, but gravity wins, and her arm goes limp. I dive and catch her hand before it hits the ground. I'm screaming at her, begging her to wake up. She can't end her run here. But some people just won't let me do my thing. The three elites unleash their ultimates, pinning me down. Explosion. Dust cloud. The shockwaves send debris flying everywhere. Then the smoke clears and I see something that breaks my brain. I clutch my head, hyperventilating. No way. This cannot be real. I just got back. How can you leave me like this? Lying, there are 3 bodies. Hanta-san. And my parents. My legs give out and I crash helplessly to my knees. Just as my sanity is about to snap, a hand touches my cheek. I freeze. It's Mom. Don't cry, she whispers. It won't look cool. Yugdo, my son. You have to survive. Mom and Dad are going on ahead. I'm bawling my eyes out. I can't accept this. I spent 500 years in the abyss, finally. Returned to see you and you're leaving after 1 day. Mom is barely hanging on. Don't worry about us anymore. Run. You have to walk your own path now. I'll watch over you from the sky. Behind me, the guild elites are closing the gap. The assassin sees me distracted. A perfect opening for a cheap shot. He's not going to waste it. He flickers behind me in a millisecond. I look completely checked out. Zero reaction. But just as his blade is about to pierce my heart, I spin around, my eyes burning with pure, unadulterated rage. You're all dead. I'll send you to hell with my parents. The assassin practically wets himself. The look on my face is straight up nightmare fuel. The aura I unleash triggers a primal alarm in his brain. Every cell in his body screams at him to bail immediately. But the second he flinches, I unleash a devastating blow. The impact is so raw, it snaps his divinely forged blade like a twig. That kind of terrifying horsepower is way out of his league. Realizing he's outmatched, the assassin dumps all his divine energy into his legs, desperate to boost his speed and get the hell out of dodge. And yeah, his speed is actually insane. In less than a blink, he teleports right next to Athena. Dude literally burned his entire mana bar just to run away. Watching this go down, even Athena is shook. Her face says it all. You have got to be kidding me. He shattered that blade with 1 hit. Athena flaps her wings and shoots into the sky, barking orders to the squad. Do not engage him. Head on or you'll be dead before you hit the ground. Suddenly, my silhouette vanishes from the spot, and Athena instinctively snaps her shield up. Boom. My fist collides with the metal, and Athena instantly regrets everything. It's like a normal human getting steamrolled by an 18-wheeler. She feels like every single bone in her body is about to disintegrate. Right now, I'm converting pure rage into raw combat power. It's me or you today. With one sickening crunch, the shield in Athena's grip completely shatters. She's stunned, but I don't let up. I follow through with an even more savage attack, grabbing the remnants of her defense. With just a slight flex of my fingers, the edge of her shield crumbles like dry clay. Just wait, I'm ending every single one of you today. Panic rises in Athena's chest like a tidal wave. How can one person be this terrifying? Before she can process, I strike with both hands, sending her launching through the air. Mid-flight, Athena screams to her guild members, "Never use divine power, or he'll just absorb it." Her warning barely leaves her lips before my figure materializes right in her face. Athena's mind races. This is bad. I can't dodge this. With a thunderous crack, I land a brutal haymaker straight to Athena's face. Her body rockets backward like an arrow released from a bowstring. The assassin from the Tiger Roar Guild watches the beatdown heart pounding out of his chest. Who the hell is this monster? Then I lock eyes with him. Something about his state feels off. It's like he's trying to be invisible, but he can't hide from my radar. The assassin's panic meter instantly spikes into the red. He actually saw me. How? That's impossible. But when my fist suddenly looms, inches from his nose, he has to face the facts. I didn't just drain his divine power. I completely downloaded his moveset. While I'm busy throwing hands, my mom is lying in the ruins. A voice sneers. Looks like you're having a blast over there. But didn't you forget something? You're so obsessed with fighting, you'd leave your dying mother behind. What a shameful son. With that, the Skeleton King's claw creeps slowly toward my mother. At the exact same moment, Shuchunzi decides he's not having it. He charges straight at the Skeleton King. But mid-sprint, the Skeleton King's weapon whips around. Wham! It slams into Shuchunzi with massive force. The speed is so insane that Shuchunzi doesn't even have time to scream. The Skeleton King already hated this monk, and now the guy wants to play. The hero right in front of him. No wonder he got swat down. My gut sinks. I didn't expect that even. Shuchunzi would be totally useless against the Demon King. But I can't dwell on it. I sprint full tilt toward Mom. The assassin silently applauds. Nice work, Baiyi. But simultaneously, I've already teleported behind Baiyi's back. Naturally, he senses me and panics, blasting out energy to counter. Right now, he just wants to beat me in a speed race. I curse under my breath. Why are these guys such a pain in the ass? With a deafening boom, Bai Yi launches his massive energy blast. But when the smoke clears, he realizes, I haven't moved an inch. I tanked the entire attack head on. This really pisses Bai Yi off. So you can absorb divine power, huh? In that case, let's see exactly how much juice your body can handle. I'm stunned. Can this guy seriously spam high-level attacks like that? With zero cooldown time. A split second later, Bai Yi confirms my worst fears. A fresh ball of death flames condenses in his palm. Even though the output isn't as massive as the last one, I figure I can still tank it. Meanwhile, Athena is so furious she's about to cough up blood. This skeleton isn't bad at all. He's just a moron, feeding the enemy free XP. But then that vile woman glances at a stone tucked under her arm. Since divine power doesn't work, and melee is a suicide mission, she decides to switch tactics. She's still got one trick up her sleeve. But right now, I'm absolutely consumed by bloodlust. If you want some, come get some. Your attacks are useless against me. Then, I rev up every ounce of my strength, bracing myself to catch this attack with my bare. My gut screams danger. Athena isn't aiming at me, she's launching a blindsided strike straight at Mom. A massive avalanche of rubble crashes down. You gotta hand it to her, Athena is as vicious as she is brilliant. Since pure divinity can't touch you, I'll cloak these boulders in it instead. At that velocity, those rocks hit harder than armor-piercing rounds. I might not end you, but I can certainly finish off your dying mother. Try and stop me. Athena's taunt sends ice through my veins. I don't care how much damage those rocks inflict. I'm taking every hit. I shield Mom with my own flesh, regret burning in my chest. Why didn't I zero this witch when I had the chance? Athena cackles wild with arrogance. Keep burning yourself out. She commands the entire Slar squad to focus fire. The sky darkens with falling debris. I smash the incoming boulders into dust, but it's an endless landslide. Speed doesn't matter. I'm overwhelmed. Thud. Thud. Jagged rocks slip past my defense, striking Mom's face. Tears mix with blood on her cheeks. She knows she's the anchor dragging me down. Run, son. Leave me. No way in hell I'm staying, even if it kills me. If I can't shield my own blood, then what's the point of breathing? As I scream my defiance, a chilling laugh echoes from above. Such touching family drama, it's almost nauseating enough to make me puke. Lich summons his divine blade again. You might absorb energy, boy, but you can't win a war against gods. The sword of Atropos materializes in his grip. Time to wrap up this boring little scuffle. It's the sacred relic of the three fates, a weapon forged to sever the very threads of destiny and slice through any divinity. Lich morphs the blade, shaping it into a devastating arrow. He's betting everything that I can't tank this shot, that it'll sever my lifeline and erase my existence. Meanwhile, down below, Shuchunzi snaps back to consciousness. He looks up, eyes widening at the crackling divine lightning. Pure terror grips him. That energy looks hungry enough to swallow the world. Staying put means instant death. He scrambles up screaming my name. Yugdu, get out of there. You can't tank that hit, nobody can. But Shuchunzi is so fixated on saving me, he misses the shadow looming behind him. Foolish monk, the assassin hisses. Still playing hero, I hear Shuchunzi's desperate plea, but my feet are planted like concrete. My instincts are screaming. What the hell is that energy? I honestly don't know if I can survive this impact. Then a soft voice behind me. Mom. I whip around. Mom, hold on. We're gonna make it. Just trust me. But when our eyes meet, she presses a small pouch into my hand. Her expression is heartbreaking. We only had one day together, she whispers, and now we have to say goodbye. I have nothing left to give you, son. Please take this pouch. It's all I have. Know that your father and I will always love you. Before I can react, the sky tears open. This isn't just lightning. It's the raw fury of Atropos. The bolt slams down, and the earth itself screams as it's vaporized. Total annihilation. From his vantage point, Lich watches the destruction with a smug grin. A crater replaces the arena. He's certain nothing could have survived that blast radius. Ping. A system notification floats up. Sacrifice to Zeus complete. The deity is pleased. Job done, Lich. Glides down to join Athena. She eyes the crater. Is the brat actually dead? Lich waves her off. Relax. Zeus confirmed the kill. That's not our problem anymore. He barks orders to his squad. Gear up. We just declared war on every guild out there. Prepare for a bloodbath. Meanwhile, my limp body hits water with a splash. I sink into the abyss, darkness swallowing me. My injuries are catastrophic. Paralyzed. Helpless. But I'm not alone. A shadow moves through the deep water, swimming straight for me. A mysterious hunter grabs hold. As consciousness flickers, I peel my eyes open to see a figure wielding a long blade, dragging me by the leg through a submerged tunnel. My mind is a fog until flash. Mom's pained face cuts through. My eyes snap wide. It all rushes back. I watched it happen. I watched my parents die right in front of me. Agony shreds my heart. I promised to keep them safe. I swore it. But I blew it. Again. The hunter towers over me, drawling out his words like he's bored. About time you woke up. But hey, act your age, and stop bawling like a toddler. I stare up at him, desperate for answers. Who is he? Why save me? But he just walls me off with silence. His eyes bore into mine, sharp as daggers. Clinging to a shred of hope, I stammer out. Did I pass out after the lightning hit? My parents? Are they alive? He looks at me like I'm absolute trash. Pure disgust. You were supposed to be the chosen one. So what's with this pathetic display? Wake up, kid. Your parents are dead because of you. Shock hits me like a freight train. I swear it on their graves. I will slaughter every single member of the Tiger Roar Guild. I turn to hunt them down right now, but the hunter clamps a steel grip on my wrist. You're coming with me. I yank my arm away instantly. Let go, I'm ending them right now. He doesn't budge. Desperate and furious, I swing a wild punch at his face. Big mistake. He catches my fist effortlessly. That's when the horror sets in. My strength, it's gone. I have zero power. That was the last straw for him. You got a lot of nerve screaming at me, kid. Wham! His fist connects with my jaw, snapping my head back. Is that how you thank the guy who saved your life? You actually tried to sucker punch me. Who do you think you are? His face darkens into a grim scowl. Right now, I'm the alpha here. I saved you, but I can snuff you out just as easily. My mind goes totally blank. How did I get so weak? The hunter spells it out. Your link to the divine power, severed. The sword of Atropos did the job. Without that blessing, you're just a regular nobody. Get it now, brat, then. He unslings the massive greatsword from his back, holding it right in my face. This is the only thing that'll reconnect you to your power. So you're coming with me. Do you grasp how screwed you are? Not only that, they'll teach you how to actually handle that power properly, you moron. You were sitting on a goldmine of energy before, but you had zero clue how to use it. You got clapped by some low-level slar goons. He barks at me to get up and move. It's the only place that can fix you. My fists clench until my knuckles pop. The rage inside is suffocating. I agree instantly. It's not like I have a choice. Dragging myself up, I mutter a quick thanks. But then he throws a curveball. Don't mistake me for a hero, kid. From here on out, I'm your enemy. Watch your mouth. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the tension. It's Ciutansi. You're not taking him anywhere, he declares, stepping into view. Not unless you reveal who you really are. That boy is the son of my late friends, and he stays with me. Seeing Ciutansi sparks a rush of relief. I never thought he'd make it here. He looks at me, guilt-ridden. He failed to save my parents, and it's eating him alive. It turns out the divine backlash blasted me underground, saving my skin. When Ciutansi realized I was down there, he didn't hesitate. He jumped right into the abyss, which actually saved his life. And down in the deep water, he found it my father's sword. It triggered a memory, a solemn vow he made to them. As long as he draws breath, he'll keep that promise. Ciutansi steps up, blocking the hunter's path. If you think you're going to exploit his power for your own gain, I'll end you. The hunter lets out a cold, mocking laugh. You, a half-dead monk acting all high and mighty. You think I'm scared of you? Ciutansi slowly unravels his blindfold. I don't fear death. Clinging to a pathetic life is the real shame. But if I break my word to his parents, I wouldn't be able to look them in the eye in the afterlife. Sensing Ciutansi's killing intent, the hunter grips his own hilt. All right then, how do you want to play this? You want to fight, I'll oblige. But you're the one leaving in a body bag. But, before steel clashes, I shout out, Ciutansi, I'll go with him. I grit my teeth. I need revenge, but I'm powerless. This is my only shot. If it means I can awaken my power, I don't care if I'm being used. I'll pay that price. Ciutansi looks thunderstruck. How can you say that? If you do this, what do I tell your parents? He hesitates, battling his conscience. Are you absolutely sure? If this is your choice, I won't stand in your way. He nods at my resolve and slowly pulls a sword from his robes. Since your mind is set, keep this blade on you. Never let it go. It's the final legacy your parents left for you. My fingers brush the hilt, and a wave of familiarity crashes over me. This is it, my father's sword. His spirit, his power, it's all locked inside this steel, a true hero's weapon. Ciutansi stares at the blade in my grip, his voice dropping to a serious whisper. That weapon has seen generations of legends. Every single hero who wielded it left a piece of their soul inside. But fully unlocking it, that demands God-tier power. And looking at you right now, yeah, you're not ready to handle that heat. It's not just a weapon. It's a history book written in blood, tracking every master it's ever had. My dad trusted Shutenji with this artifact, just to make sure it reached my hands. He knew a day would come when my survival depended on it. I nod, accepting the burden. This is the ultimate inheritance from mom and dad. They actually sacrificed their prophecy powers just to protect this one blade. So you know this sword is basically the key to everything. The hunter behind me cuts the moment short, though we gotta bounce. No time to waste. We are officially on the clock, and every second we stand here is a risk we can't afford. We dive deeper into the tunnel's abyss. Man, what a trip, getting thrown into that bizarre tower, fighting my way out. finding my parents then losing them in a heartbeat. I've got no map for this journey, and no clue what hell is waiting up ahead. But I know this much: the destination we're charging toward. It is straight up overflowing with miracles.